I was proud of my cultural heritage until I found out that my great-grandfather was from Transylvania. Now I can't even look at myself in the mirror.
That's good. That's good. I'll give you that.
Yeah. Where do you find mangoes? Wherever a woman goes. When I was a kid, at bedtime, it was my bedtime was 9:30 p.m. and I couldn't wait to be grown up so I could go to bed any time I want. Turns out it's 9:30 p.m.
That's a bit close to the bone
true.
at the moment.
So true.
So very true. Yeah. Anyway, we just found out that my granddad had an addiction to Viagra. No one's taking it harder than my grandma. Anyway, hello everyone. Welcome to the Black Dog 257. I'm Lee.
I'm Darren.
I'm Jim, number 1.
And I'm confused.
.com. And this week, we'll see how everyone's week's been or not, because there's not necessarily a lot to talk about, but maybe there is. And then we'll have a little bit of feedback for last week's movie, which was Biggles. 80s music. And then we will get on to this week's movie, which was your pick, Dal. And it was...
Yeah. Primer.
Now, in that sound, that voice tells us everything we need to know about your review for Primer before you've even seen it, before we've even spoken to you.
Is there a slightly tired, deflated, exasperated, head scratchy sort of tone to my voice?
Yeah. There's a certain level of confusion. It's a sound we've all recognised in ourselves for watching this film. Right, but we'll get to that. And do stay tuned for this 6.5 hour podcast as we try and explain it. So anyway, before we get to that and get in our box. Sorry. Before we get into that, let's find out how everyone's week's been. So we'll start with you, Jim. How has it been, sir?
Well, long story short, it is fucking sucked.
Yes.
Basically.
Yes.
If you follow me on social media, you already know this. I'm not going to dwell on it, but unfortunately, I lost my dear mum on Saturday night. She'd had a virus, she'd been a bit ill, and she wasn't getting any better. Both me and my sister last Monday said, "You're going back to the doctors, whether you like it or not." They did blood tests, they found her blood were all over. She went into hospital Thursday night, and she was still okay, but then Saturday took a turn for the worse. Basically went to sleep and didn't wake up again. So still processing that at the minute. But I know, from comments, I've said thank you to all the Black Doggers who have left messages of condolence and whatnot. It's all greatly appreciated. But yes, still processing that. So moving on.
Yes, moving on. Okay.
Because I need to start this damn ties business.
Wow.
I'm a big believer
There's
in
a man on a
don't worry
mission.
about what you can't fix, but what you can fix, give it a go.
Right. Okay.
The eternal verities, I don't know. Life and death, don't know. But I might have a shot at sorting out the ties in Primer.
Okay. Well, everyone's got to have a mission, something to focus on.
Absolutely.
There's definitely a goal. Okay. Right. Cool. Yes. Well, that's cool.
But see, in other news, I will recommend a very, very strange fucking film which I saw the other week.
Okay.
I think it's Amazon Prime. It's called Sunlight.
Okay.
And it's a film made by Nina Conte, who is a ventriloquist and a very good one. And she's done some very interesting documentaries about ventriloquism. And she has done a movie in collaboration with an American actor and comedian whose name I now have completely forgotten.
Right.
But they come up with this story, right? He plays basically this guy who's decided, I'm at the end of my rope. You go to some hotel and he's going to end it all. In fact, he thinks he has ended it all, but he wakes up in his little mobile home, driving down the freeway, and his mobile home is being driven by the person who saved him, who happens to be a monkey.
Oh, is it Monkey? Is it?
It is Monkey. It is Nina Conte's Monkey, but full human-sized monkey.
Fuck off, really? Right, okay.
I'm looking at it now.
Monkey, but fully sized. It is actually a person who is a monkey suit who insists that they are just called Monkey, and they are a monkey. They're a monkey all the way through like a potato. And they strike up a rather odd relationship and friendship. And I can't really say much more than that. It's in part a surreal, probably more absurdist comedy. It's also a buddy movie. It's sort of almost a romance. It's very odd, but weirdly heartwarming, and at times fucking funny.
Cool. I don't know what to say.
It's one of those. I was almost tempted to pick it for this, but
right.
I was so tempted, but I want to leave it a while before I watch it again, basically.
Yeah,
but I really, me and Teresa watching it, we went through the various stages of puzzlement, hilarity, a bit dusty in here. It's a really good movie because it is just it just goes places you don't expect, and I don't know, it's so offbeat and weird and unpredictable, but also it's just. There's just this basic comedy absurdity to it all. I was really, really impressed. Not what I was expecting at all, but really clever. There's a lot to say about kind of the roles people play and the roles you're expected to play if you want to go deep into it. Yeah. There's a lot under the nonsense, put it that way. But yeah,
right.
I was very impressed. I do recommend it. It's a strange ride, but I think people will appreciate taking if you can deal with the level of strangeness.
Okay, and that's on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, it's just called Sunlight.
Yeah, I can see the poster. Is a man standing beside another person dressed as a full-sized monkey.
Yep.
Beside a camper van with a banana on the roof.
Yep.
Cool. As long as I got the right one.
That's the one. That is it.
Right. Okay. I'll put that to the family whether they want to watch that over the weekend. I'm not sure, but we'll see how it goes. Cool. Okay. Well, that sounds interesting. I hesitate to ask anything else.
Well, so I have been enjoying. I picked up a copy of a Swedish role-playing game called Morkborg, or it should be in Swedish, Mörkberg.
Right.
And it describes itself as being rules light, but everything else heavy.
Right.
And basically, it's set in a medieval world which literally is going to end.
Right.
And, quote, you play heretics, scumbags, and miserable bastards deciding what to do with the end of days.
Oh.
Right. And it's unbelievably dark to the point of being, like, ridiculous. It's very sort of doom metal of, like, crank it up to, like, operatic levels of nonsense.
Yeah.
Like, the first table in the book is one for corpse plundering.
Right.
Where you can roll to see when you plunder a corpse what you find. And you find lovely things such as a bag of angry venomous wasps, or my all-time favourite, a hopeless amount of spiders.
A hopeless amount of spiders.
Yes. And that kind of sums up the tone of this game. It's really, really dark, creepy, but kind of funny. Because it is just so extreme. It's a really good game system, and the rule book is presented like no other. It is just kind of like, the layouts are all over the place. It's really like almost like an old school fanzine, like a punk fanzine. Everything's in neon colours. There's even some pages that apparently glow under ultraviolet, showing hidden glyphs and messages.
Oh wow!
I'm looking at the page now, and there's an app for creating characters called Scumbirther.
Yes. Yeah, because you can just completely randomly roll your character, and as the rule book
Sure, I
says,
went on a
you may
date with
name
her
your
at
character,
some point.
but it will not save you.
Scumberthy, yeah, she's the lady down that pub. That
Yeah.
everyone's spoken to. Okay.
It's so well thought out. It's the rule system very stripped down, but very versatile. It was designed so you could learn it very quickly. It's not really meant for long campaigns because the world will fucking end. Literally every day you roll to see what's it called, the cosmic misery that's going to rain down on the world next. And after 7 miseries, the world ends.
Right.
The apocalypse comes and everybody dies.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, it's definitely worth looking. I mean, I said the rule book itself is just a work of art.
Yeah.
And I say a lot of it's just really inventive and weird and creepy and just kind of like, oh. I've had a lot of fun reading it and just kind of chuckling and you fucking what?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm very, very impressed. I've got 2 supplements coming.
Oh, nice.
With more dark nonsense. But yeah, so that's been keeping me entertained.
I was gonna say, is this another podcast stream coming online? Is it?
Well, I think so. I think I will. I think I'll definitely review it. So I've got the 2 official supplements coming. So I've got kind of the set of all the main stuff. I will do a proper review of it on the show. I think because
Nice.
It is just quite something.
Cool. Excellent.
Yeah, I think I'll leave that there.
Okay. Well, in which case, brilliant. We will skip lightly over the silent Mr. Elton. You're still there, Elton?
I am still here. Yes,
Cool.
I've had a week and a half of it as well. So I'm nothing
it's okay.
really to report.
No, it's fine. I just wanted to make sure you were still online.
Still here, not bugged out.
Not bugged out. No, that's cool. Cool. So we'll skip over Elton, and then we will move to you, Dow. How's your week been, sir?
Yeah, it's been all right. It's been good. Haven't really done much, except I did take my arse up to London along with Rhiannon and Maria, and we did go to that tiny protest that took place in London. Yeah, the little one, the one with 500,000 people in it. Yeah. Yeah, we were up there.
Oh, right.
With that.
Okay.
And
the No Kings one, yeah?
Well, it's not No Kings. This is just against the far right. It's the Americans who thought
that one.
The British were coming out in sort of like solidarity with them. It's like, no, we're actually doing our own thing.
Yes.
Here. So
it's ethically aligned.
It was nicely timed. Let's just say that. It was nicely timed. That's a coincidence. But Donald Trump, down with him. Down with this kind of thing. Yes. Enough of that nonsense. Stop that.
Yep.
So, Jesus Christ, there were flipping hell. It was jam-packed. What the pictures you see just don't do it justice. There were tons of people. We were supposed to be on the march up to was it Trafalgar Square, and there were so many people it got delayed by about 2 hours. That's how many people there were. It just came to a fucking grinding halt, and there was I think there was another protest went on as well at the same time for Palestine.
Oh yeah,
and it kind of gelled together. And by the time I got to Trafalgar Square, it was like I think we need to go home now. We've been standing around for too long. So didn't get to see any of the sort of like the entertainment and stuff like that they all had prepared for the marchers and stuff in the centre. But it was good. It was good sense of everybody was all there for the same thing. And it was a really good atmosphere.
Nice.
It really, really was. And it makes a change considering what's going on. It was just nice to have that. It really was.
Cool.
So, there you go.
That was it, yeah? That was your week.
That was it, apart from buying Easter eggs and then buying another Easter egg, a tiny one, so that I didn't eat the big one until Sunday.
Nice.
So I've got them sat over there, and it's like, you know, when you buy an Easter egg and you can see it sitting there on a table, and it's like still a week to go, and you think, you know what I'll do is I won't eat the egg. I'll just take the sweets.
Yeah,
I'll just take the sweets.
Yeah,
I'll take that. Yeah. The second Yorkie bar had already vanished by the very next morning. So
you're weak.
I am weak.
Your weakness disgusts me.
But fortunately, I do have a liking for very cheap chocolate, hollow chocolate. You know, they sell like these cheap rip-offs of things like Lindor bunnies and stuff like this.
Rindo hares.
Yeah. Backdoor rabbits.
I'm sorry.
I think that's Ann Summers there you've wandered into.
I think so, yes.
Well, some of those chocolate bunnies, if you just by the shape, they're a bit dubious.
Yeah,
they are.
Yeah, especially if you do shadow puppets with them. Anyway, sorry.
So,
anyway.
I had to get one of them. And if I got to be honest, that's almost gone now. I couldn't help myself. I just kept going in and picking bits. And it's like, I've got like the base of the bunny left, and that's it. So,
the real Easter bunny's just standing there shaking his head, judging you from afar. Yeah,
exactly. It's like, all those safeguards you put in place, Darren, what's happened?
Yeah.
Nothing. You've just eaten everything. You're just going through it like fucking dose of salts.
So the next podcast will come from the diabetes ward. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Right. Okay. I was going to say, just make sure they got Wi-Fi. Plunge you into a fake liver. 1,000 gallons of insulin being poured into your mouth. Okay.
Indeed.
Cool.
So that's basically it for me.
Okay. Fair enough. My week. Well. The things worth reporting, I've sort of noodling about on the old PlayStation, and I thought, I'll try a new game. Got to get a new game because you know it's gone bad when you kind of go back to multiplaying golf with your mate on PlayStation. You know it's like, oh god. we've settled back to golf. So I went looking on the store for some sales, and I bought Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh,
which has been patched up now, so it actually doesn't play like a slideshow.
Did you Did you get the DLC to go with it?
Yeah, with the Phantom Liberty. Yeah, got all of that.
Right, that's good because that adds further improvements to it.
So yeah, and I'm only 11 hours into it. I only got it on Sunday. But I'm only
you've just got past the credits at the beginning then, right? Okay.
Yeah. I finally got some Keanu Reeves floating around in the game. Yeah, it's good. It's basically sci-fi Skyrim by any other name. You've got a big area. You've got lots of stuff going on in it. You drive around. You fly around. You can do what the hell you like. So it's like, yeah, I'm enjoying it. It took a while. I hit a bit of a wall to start with when it hits you with a wall of text and 1,000 things that you've got to memorize. But once
the training is a thing that if I have to restart the game, it's like, have I got a save where I've got past that bit?
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
It's the same bit over and over again.
But I'm enjoying it. I didn't think I would after the last time, but yeah, no, I've given it another go, and with all the patches and the upgrades and performances and everything, it's actually a playable game, and I'm enjoying it greatly. So that's quite nice. And it only cost me £20 with all of the Hoogie Watsits and everything on PlayStation Store. I don't know if that deal's gone now, but it was there last week.
You know what? There's a mod I think we're missing on that, and it's looking at the actual state of the blocks and stuff like this that you live in that game.
Yeah,
I want a Dread 2012 mod.
You want to go with Dread?
Yeah, just because just replace the costumes that are placement with Judge costumes, and I think you've got most of the work done for you already,
pretty much
in that game.
Yeah.
So I'd love to see that.
I need a Blade Runner update mod, and I also need an Akira update mod, which is which would make me very happy, because I love driving around the city in my bike. But sorry. Speaking of Akira, by the way, it's the 40th anniversary on the 17th, which makes me feel very old.
Isn't it in the cinema?
Yes.
Yep.
It's
Prince
coming
Charles.
back to the cinema. But not just Prince Charles. Oh, no. It's coming to IMAX on Waterloo. I was informed the other day, thanks to Black Dogger. Yeah, thanks to Black Dogger Lee Bromham. He sent me a direct message saying, hey, guess what? And there's a link. And the link took me to the IMAX Waterloo East.
Oh, my word. Because I threatened to take Maria to see this. Because she loves anime. And I went, right, come see the granddaddy.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, the worst bit is realizing it's 40 years old, because I remember skipping out. I remember skipping out of Friday evening, Friday day college that I was released to from work to catch up on my on my chemistry, because I was doing a chemistry job, and they were like, you need to learn a bit more chemistry, Lee, to get on with this job. And I'm like, right, okay. And they put me in a college to learn HND level chemistry, biochem. And I got so bored with it driving down to Maidstone that every 3 or 4 weeks I'd go back to the ICA in the Strand and watch Akira. So so I fully remember where I was 40 years ago. So I got some tickets, so I'm going to see that. And the other thing is I saw a film on Disney Plus.
Okay.
Which is kind of tangentially related to the movie we're about to watch. It's called Mike, Nick, and Alice.
Okay.
Right. It stars Vince Vaughn, James Marsden, and oh God, Lord, I can never pronounce her name. Isa Gonzalez or Elza Gonzalez. I can never remember her name. Anyway, and Keith David. And essentially, it's no spoiler. There's no spoilers here, because it's a pretty bright and breezy sort of time travel-y gangster comedy.
Right.
And essentially what happens is one evening, a gangster's son gets out of jail after being in jail for 6 years. And it turns out that he was put away by a mob rat who snitched to the police. And on this day, they're about to find out who the rat is. And Vince Vaughn, who plays one of the big mob heavies, knows that James Marsden, who you may remember from things like Paradise and X-Men movies and all that sort of stuff, is having an affair with Vince Vaughn's wife. And Vince Vaughn knows this, and so fits up James Marsden as the rat, even though he isn't. And so James Marsden will be tonight killed by a guy called a guy called the boss, I think it's called, who will kill him and eat him, not necessarily in that order.
Oh,
and then Vince Vaughn turns up again, but in a brown coat, and says to James Marsden, "I've stitched you up. You die tonight. I'm from 6 months in the future. I've got to stop you from dying because I felt immense guilt and it changed me mentally, and I realized that I did the wrong thing, and I feel terribly sorry for it, and I've had an emotional awakening, and now I've got to talk to you, my past self, and my wife, and stop this from happening." And that's the plot.
Right.
Okay.
Which is, and it has this whole thing about cause and effect, where they find out that anything that happens to old Vince, to current day Vince Vaughn, will happen to future Vince Vaughn. So, so there's this whole thing of having to keep both safe when shit's going down, and it's interesting. It's kind of got moments where you go, "Oh, that's cool," and then it's got moments where you start to overthink it because you start applying proper time travel rules to it. So you start seeing, when you start seeing things they don't, the movie doesn't. But there's things like you see someone says, "Oh, when I saw you, you were found in a dumpster. Nobody knew where you came from," and all this sort of thing. You go, time travel. This is a mystery person. I bet he's from the future or somehow time travel related. And the film just goes, nah. It just ignores it. There's all these kind of moments, and you just think, but time travel rules, and and things like that, and even like something very, very stupid, which is right at the beginning, so it is not a spoiler. It literally is in the opening credits.
Yeah.
That Vince Vaughn from the future accidentally kills the inventor of the time machine and blows up the time machine in the present day.
Oh.
So at which point you go, well, hang on. If the time machine doesn't exist in the present day, how the fuck does he find the time machine in the future to come back to now?
Yeah.
But
my question exactly.
But do you know what the film does? It goes, nah, don't worry about it.
Nah, you sit there and no,
You
God bless you.
Just sit there and watch. Just sit there and watch this comedy action thriller. You just watch that instead, and don't worry about it. And
Don't think too much.
Yeah. It just needs Michael York to come up and go, I suggest you don't think about it, Austin, and that goes for you too in the audience. It really just needs that. So, yeah, if it's what I call a Sunday afternoon movie. If you've got nothing else going on, and you don't mind ignoring a lot of the time travel rules that would be established in all sorts of films, then you'll be fine. But if you apply any kind of time travel film logic to it, it falls apart like damp tissue paper. So there you go.
Oh well. Where was that on? Prime.
That's on Disney Plus.
Right. Okay.
And it's called Mike and Nick and it's either Alice or Anne. I can never remember the last one. Hold on a sec. I will tell you again.
Oh, hang on.
Mike and Nick and Alice.
Cool. Might give that a go.
Yeah, like I say, it's not as clever or as funny as it thinks it is, but it's fine. It's fine. I mean, in the pantheon of time travel movies, it's not high. But,
what type of what's his name have we got in this? Vince Vaughn.
We've got both Vince Vaughns.
Because we got comedy Vince Vaughn, and then we have Hard as Nails Vince Vaughn.
Initially, Hard as Nails Vince Vaughn, but time travel-y from the future Vince Vaughn has been emotionally scarred by the events of past Vince Vaughn. So you've got, I want sugar-free gum, give me sugar-free gum, or I'm going to blow your fucking head off to a guy in a BP station, Vince Vaughn. And then you have, I think we should all sit around and just, get it out in the open air. I love you, man, and I've come to an emotional breakthrough kind of Vince Vaughn.
Okay.
There's two Vince Vaughns.
Yeah.
There's dodgeball Vince Vaughn, and then there's bodies on the pavement or is grinding across concrete Vince Vaughn.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah. But neither stay in their lane for very long, and they kind of all just kind of bland out after about 10 minutes and just become Vince Vaughn.
Yeah.
In a different suit.
That good, eh?
Yeah. It's just a film. They're just there, and it goes.
Don't think about it too much, man.
Yes.
Forget about it.
It is the very definition of why did they page 1, line 1, chapter 1, shut up, that's why. It is that all the way through. So yeah,
Does it do that young Sherlock thing and puts up a disclaimer at the beginning? Look, we know this whole plot line is bollocks, but look, if you just go along with it, there's some pretty decent jokes in there, and we're sure you'll have a bloody good time and a good old laugh if you just go with it, just surf it.
Look, we're not asking for much. Just give it a fucking chance. I mean,
have you written a film? Have you written one? Yes, let's see your film. Yeah, you haven't? No? Right, yes. Well, then shut the fuck up, sit down and watch the bloody film. Jesus Christ.
Look, we've even put Sherlock Holmes on the cover.
Do you want some of this, do you? Would you like to become familiar with the back of my hand? Would you? I'm so watching you.
I've got a sovereign. I'm not afraid to show you. Show you the sovereign. Yeah, it's not gonna tax anyone's best of movies list this year, last year, or any year.
Yeah,
but it's just it's.
Sometimes that's what you need, though, isn't it?
Sometimes that is what you need, and if you're willing to go with it, that's fine. But yeah,
yep.
But I found myself. I sat there with Carol. I was like, that guy's their future son, and then the film just goes, nah, forget it. And it's like,
no, you don't.
It's like, oh, how can he go back in time if he's got no time machine? Don't worry about it. It's like. The film just keeps pulling shit out of his ass like you wouldn't believe. It's just you're just sitting there going, what, why now, why?
You're going to do some amazing things that have got absolutely no repercussions whatsoever.
Pretty much, yes. So yeah, so like I say, just I suggest you don't think about it, Austin. And it goes for you in the audience too. Definitely 100% what that is. So, watch it or don't. Yeah. But, that's not much of a recommendation, but it's as good as you're going to get. Oh, by the way, I think we should leave it there and head over to feedback.
It's feedback time.
Yes, so last week we watched Biggles. We didn't have a lot of feedback on Biggles, but we got Jeffrey Mark Hyman on the Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/the Black Dog Podcast, and he said, if I ever find myself magically transported back to the Somme in 1917, I hope I can maintain the same detached sociopathic calm of Alex Hyde White. I did quite enjoy the film, but more for what it could have been rather than the odd mess on the screen. While Stephen Porter, predicting us ahead of schedule, said, I love this movie, and not just because of the bonkers 1980s theme tune. I'm sure there will be a very pragmatic, level-headed critique of the movie. At no point will Elton state that he didn't get it, and double down despite Jim increasingly and subtly exasperated attempts to explain the plot. And in the background to the production, Lee will not say he hates it and shut up, that's why. Well, see, and he was so close, but he didn't quite get it. Yeah. I said, I suspect you might be right, but let's just say Alex Hyde White didn't fare too well. Alex Murray Christensen said, I found a shot of Alex Hyde White reacting to a massive explosion, and he just left a picture of a nonplussed-looking Ditto from Pokemon. And then also, while we're talking about Primer, we put up the post of a Primer on the Facebook group, and we got some comments there where Martin Thompson said, and it's not feedback for the film yet, but Martin Thompson said, so will you be releasing the 6-hour podcast in one go or splitting it into parts? Still, if you're short of intro music, you can have Living in a Box. Well, it's funny you mentioned that.
That's all we can play of it because copyright and shit.
Exactly. If I play it too many times in straight order, then I get a copyright strike. While Sean Gleason said, I still have to get round to watching this one, even with all the buttering up from the Flux Capacitor podcast. There you go. You buttered it up, apparently.
Apparently, we never covered it on there, but yes.
Yes, you did.
No,
you did. You and Ian Lee talked about it for ages.
That was on Shonky Lab.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
Why on earth did you not do it on flux capacitor?
Didn't get around to it. We were going to.
Oh, wow.
Well, maybe he did, but then maybe he kind of,
you went in the
got
reset
the wrong
box.
podcast, and then when he did the reset.
Yeah. I think
went
we
back.
mentioned it a number of times, but yeah.
Yeah. And John Campion, just to finish this all off, he said, in the age of films where you can watch while also titting about on your phone, this seems like an important film to cover, which is a very, very intuitive thing to say, because there is no way you can watch this film and just kind of have a half eye on it. Nope, not at all. So, yes, well, we'll get round to that shortly. Silence from Darren's corner means that he tried, didn't you? You were surfing on Amazon when you tried to watch this film, weren't you?
No, my eyes didn't slide up the screen slowly towards the keyboard. No, not at all. I didn't get distracted once. No, not me. No.
Okay.
I didn't go up a few levels on Skyrim at all. No.
I didn't finish that level of Candy Crush. No. Anyway, right. Well, we will get around to discussing that all shortly. But as ever, if anybody would like to leave some feedback for this or any other episode, by all means, send it in to either feedback@blackdogpodcast.com or put it on the Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups/the Black Dog Podcast. Right. Let's leave it there. Let's take a break. And when we come back, we will be when we go and review Primer. Roll the jingle. Right, Primer is a 2024 American independent science fiction film written, directed, produced, and edited and scored by Shane Carruth. Carruth? Anyway, let's call the whole thing off. It was his feature debut. The film stars Carruth and David Sullivan and depicts the events surrounding an accidental discovery of time travel. Primer is noted for its extremely low-budget experimental plot structure and philosophical implications and complex technical dialogue, which Carruth, a college graduate with a degree in mathematics and former engineer, chose not to simplify for the sake of the audience. Thanks, Shane. The film is 77 minutes long, or is it? And it was released on October the 8th, 2004. It had a budget of just $7,000. How much do you think it made at the box office, Darren?
Some weebles that didn't wobble, that didn't fall down, but were full of protein.
Yes, protein-laced weebles. Yeah. Okay, Jim.
I think it only made $20,000. But after I went back in time and had seen the reviews, it made $2 million.
Elton?
47 parties.
47 parties, yeah. Yeah. Actually, no, it made one cheap set of headphones and a big scribble all over a wall, which is basically the plot. No, actually, it made a box office of $841,000. So it made well over sort of, nearly 12, 13 times its budget.
Wow, that's incredible.
Which is pretty darn good. Yeah, Shane Carruth plays Aaron and David Sullivan plays Abe. I'm only mentioning this now because we are going to get into it soon and we're going to be saying Aaron and Abe an awful lot. I suspect. Normally, I don't mention the characters' names, but it's worth mentioning right now. And it is one of those films where, as John Campion rightly pointed out in the feedback section, you need to actually watch. You cannot half-ass this with one eye on the phone.
No, this is a film that definitely requires the full arse.
The full arse. Yeah. So let's go around the table for the non-spoiler, if such a thing could have a spoiler section, because fuck knows, you got to understand it in the first place.
Yeah.
But let's go around the table. Darren, you picked it, so you'll go last. But ironically, you're the only one who hasn't seen it.
Right.
So we're in a bit of a bind here. So I'll tell you what. We'll go around the table as per normal.
Yeah, just do that. Do the guys first, and then I'm going to have the unique perspective of this because
I think
I'm
you will.
coming at this from when all the hype had passed. So
like last week.
Yeah, like last week.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, well, we'll start with you then, Jim. How did you find Primer?
Well, this was third time round for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I do enjoy this movie. It's very hard to get a handle on, but I kind of I appreciate that. I think there's good structural reasons for doing that. And so having gone around it a couple of times, you begin to notice so little things that sound random but aren't random, as it turns out later on.
Yeah.
And I think, I think the version of time traveling this is highly, highly intriguing. It is based on like a proper physics theory, the idea that if you build a time machine, you can only ever go back as far as the invention of that time machine. Yes. It can't take you back to somewhere where the machine wasn't. I think this really explores it in a fascinating way. And I mean, having seen it a couple of times, it's good to be able to watch out for certain things that you know are significant. And it is, I say, it's kind of very deliberately obtuse. But partly though that is because he is doing that thing of trying to make it look real, almost like it's almost like you've got home movie footage, if you know what I mean. It's that sort of it's trying to do the very opposite of what you normally expect from a time travel movie, which is a lot of, big labs, big effects.
Yeah.
Time tunnels, dinosaurs, and all that kind of thing. And I think I do appreciate it. I know it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. I think there is a big hump you have to get over in like the first 15 minutes. You have to very much tune into the movie.
Yeah.
Christ, I thought you were going to say first 15 watches. Then.
Oh no. I mean, I think the basic plot isn't. Once you understand how the time travel works, it's not too bad, but it does there are complicated wrinkles later on, which I want to get into. But I think the main plot, once you understand the time travel and how it's actually working, it's not too bad. But there is layers of complexity, but you don't need to necessarily understand all the layers of complexity to get a satisfying story, if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
It's very much designed kind of, you have to go back as well. But yeah, I say it's probably one of the most interesting movies on time travel, I think.
Okay.
Definitely. And I'm looking forward to working out the ties.
Okay. Now, I suspect the best way to do the next one is for me to go next, because I think Elton and Darren might, and I don't know why. Darren said nothing, but I get the feeling that these two will be the polar opposites. So therefore, a good comparison basis. So I will just go first and just say this is my fourth time of seeing it. I've seen it 3 times before, and this was my fourth. I understand the time travel. I think I'm pretty much on board with it. I will confess I did have to watch a YouTube just to make sure I was on the right page last night, and I was mocked for it by my wife and daughter, who came in to see me watching a YouTube video with lots of guys drawing circles and loops and that kind of shit. So I will not claim to be like some sort of time travel savant on this one. And I wrote in my Letterboxd review last night that it's a film to be admired. It's a film to enjoy intellectually as a thought piece. How does this work? How does that work? This works in a logical fashion, so and so and so and so. But it's the diametric opposite of something like the other thing I was watching, which was Mike, Nick, and Alice, where the time travel is just a gimmick to get onto a totally different plot. This is all the plot. Time travel is the plot. And that's cool. But where Mike, Nick, and Alice had nothing but characters being likable and charming and action and fun and all that kind of stuff, and light on the time travel, Primer is the scientific hard facts coming at you and very little emotionally to engage you. So I found the film almost like a same criticism I would have leveled at Tenet, which isn't nearly as clever as it thinks it is. But it's the whole thing of it's so focused on the time travel element and the science of it and the trying to wow you with it that it forgets to tell a story that makes you care. And Primer is that for me. I admire it in so many different ways, but I also never feel the need to go back to it because I don't give a crap about the two guys involved. I find them deeply, deeply sort of flawed people who I do not empathize with in any way, shape, or form beyond I'm using time travel to make money. It's like, great. The rest of it, they are flat blank slates to me, and I fall off the wall. I fall off the wall with them. I just can't engage with them. But I watch Primal more as a sort of like doing a crossword puzzle. I sit there going, nice, solved it, fine. I feel a little bit clever or a little bit cleverer for having got a little bit further in the time travel idea. But the story behind it, the thing holding it up, do I care? No. And that's kind of where I am with Primer. It's a film to be admired, a film to be, impressed by, but not a film to watch for enjoyment, if you know what I mean. But then that's for me.
Okay.
So, let's go to you, Elton.
Yep.
Because, I think without sort of gilding the lily too much, you are definitely in the pro camp. Are we?
I flipping love this movie.
Great. Okay, well then you have at it, and then we'll go to Darren.
I really adore this movie. This just sings to me. I've seen this. I think I saw it at least 5 times for when I reviewed it. God, back in 2012 or whenever it was, maybe 2013, and I knew I'd heard about it and it intrigued me and watched it and wanted to really understand it. Really dived into that. I spent a week in that world, and I haven't been back since. I've spoken about it a fair few times. I know I've hinted on here a couple of times about it, and whenever someone mentions like favorite films or anything like that, it's always up there. It's in my top 5. I flipping love it. And this time round, I watched it twice. This time round,
wow!
And the first time I was watching it, I was watching it as if I was coming to it new.
Right.
I don't know why. It just felt different. And I was halfway through it going, hang on, don't you dare do the old
Clash of the Titans.
Clash of the Titans thing to me. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. So I worked through it and I enjoyed it. And I was like, what what was wrong there? Something was wrong there. I'm not too sure what was wrong there. And other little things started fitting into place, the things I didn't get last time, and I have thoughts on certain events.
Yeah.
And so I was like, no, this is wrong. My chakra is all out of wonk now. So I watched it again, and it all fell back into place. It was like, oh, there it is. There's the fun. Because I think the first time it felt a bit too cheap and a bit too overindulgent on itself. Lots of technical and over-speaking people as well. You know, like the dining scene in Alien where everyone's talking over one, and because it feels natural, because that's what happens. You get the hum, and it felt like they were purposely talking over each other and having confusing conversations and other bits of conversation which were trying to confuse you. But then I watched it again, and it all kind of fell back into place, and everything was right with the world again. So I came away flipping loving this. I adore it. It's still in my top 5, absolutely. And I will sing. I will die on that hill. I flipping love it.
No, that's cool. That's cool. I mean, it's interesting that the first time you've watched it in ages, you were kind of like, oh no, and then you've had to do the drops in the eyes, Clockwork Orange, get yourself back on track.
It did worry me for a bit. I had myself worried there for a moment. I was like, oh no, I can't remove this out of my top 5. This needs to be here because I've been banging on about it for so many years now. But yeah, it's still up there, and I flipping like it. And I think this is a movie that it lends itself to talking about. I think it's all right if you sit down and watch it, and if someone came in, watched it, went away, they might just go away going, ugh, don't care. But I think it lends itself to the discussion, and that's where it really works. And we've had this on many occasions when we're talking about a movie, and you guys have turned me over on a movie because we've had the discussion and I've come around on it, and I just think it encourages a discussion about it.
That's funny enough. That's exactly what I put in my Letterboxd review.
Oh, okay.
Said it. No, it's just curious. I'm just interested because it's like I said, it's a film that is a pub. It's a pub discussion film. Mm-hmm. It's the sort of thing where you'll come out the cinema, you'll sit there, and there'll be bits and pieces that each of us picks up or didn't or whatever, and it becomes a thing. You just sit. But okay, so you're still on board for it, yeah?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Cool. In which case, the film's picker, Mr. Barnard. What did you think of Primer? Non-spoiler version.
You know what? I'm looking at my keyboard here, and I'm just wondering, why can't I get these crumbs off it? Why can't I get these crumbs off this keyboard? I don't know.
What the fuck is going on?
Now that is what happened to me. What that thing where you just you just did that. You were confused by what I just did, and now I'm talking about the subject in hand. To me, when I watch this film, that's the structure of the film. It's you guys are going to have to do some fucking heavy lifting today, right? I'm not joking. Right, you are really going to have to do some fucking heavy lifting to convince me that it's worthwhile going back to watch a third or fourth time, because I watched this twice. How can I describe it? Okay. John, did you hear about the flange? What, the bucket? Yeah, the bucket with the flange, that. And the colour green? Yeah, because when I put the Lego bricks together, then the colour orange phoned up emergency services and basketball. That was my experience with the first 25 minutes of this film, I didn't know what they were doing. There's no, what are you building? What are you building that accidentally turns into the thing? What is it? There's no explanation as to what it is they're doing.
There is. There is.
Yeah,
no, just let him do his bit.
It's not hitting me.
Yep.
There's lots of talk going on, but there's nothing. I'm not hearing anything. This was like this was the film equivalent of Only Connect. Right? Well, they go, Napoleon painted a living room once. How many oranges in a duck? Oh, France. That's what I hear when I watch Only Connect and somebody asks a question and somebody answers it. That's what I hear. I hear random words said together, and the answer is bushel of pizzas. And it's like, okay. Now you see, I'm sitting and I'm thinking to myself, I'm starting to sweat when I'm watching this film because everybody's got, this is the greatest time travel film ever. This is such a work of art. Now, when you preload me with that kind of stuff before going in to see a film, I am going to expect the second coming of Jesus Christ. Right there. I'm going to expect the film equivalent of that, and I'm going to expect it to at least, if I don't get it the first time, I'm going to at least have to see the promise. The promise of it there. I don't know what drives people to see this 25 times to understand it. I watched it twice. I got a little bit further into it as I went, but not enough. I don't know. And it's the sort of film where everybody raves about it, and you start thinking, is it me? Am I broken inside? Is there something that is my education lacking? So, because I'm not getting it. I'm listening to words, but I'm not understanding what they're saying. And it's like that bit I just said there, and that's how time travel works. Oh, so it's about it. So we've got to that bit. Do you know the bit when I started actually locking on to anything was when they went outside and had the basketball game. Up to that point, it was just noise. The whole thing was just noise. And I couldn't work out how they'd gone from building. They've just gone down and done a thing, right? Okay. We've got some things. I'm throwing them in a shoebox. Is the shoebox? The shoebox. Time travel. I don't know how we got from the shoebox to the time travel.
Okay.
And
So
the thing that kept putting me off was the low budgetness of it. I don't know why, because I like a good low budget film that's like got some meat to the bones, right? I like it when people concentrate more on the plot, but I know the guy didn't dumb it down or anything like this, but maybe just a little bit, just a little bit, just a tiny bit, because the film, as much as you've made it, you're supposed to be making it to. You want it to go out there and at least make some money. You're not just, because why put it out there in the first place? If you're not expecting some money back from it, then you just keep it indoors. You've made it and you just watch it yourself. So the film is not for the people making it. It's for an audience. And if basically, if you're just making a film that is the noise in your head, and it's how do people like attach to it? What is it that I'm not seeing?
Yeah.
With this.
Okay.
Now I know a lot of people didn't get it all the first time, and they've done the work and they've got it this far. But what was it? What was it about this film that actually wanted to make you make the effort?
It's a good question, and it'll be the first one we ask out of the spoiler zone, because I think anything going further than this needs to be in the spoiler zone.
Yes.
So I need to. So this is why I say you guys are going to have to do some fucking heavy lifting.
Oh God,
For me.
I will be perfectly honest with you right now. I'm going to talk about it, and I'll be happy to talk along. Elton is absolutely pro plus positive. I think it's easy to say. Jim sounds to me like he's positive, but with some caveats. I am middling. I am absolutely 100% admire, but don't feel I'm entertained.
Is this the first time we've all been on a slightly different level?
I think so.
I think so.
And so while I'm happy to discuss the concepts and what the time travel is actually doing, I 100% get where you are coming from. So I think we've got a range of opinions here based on almost what we want from the film and what we're getting out of it. So let's get on to the spoiler zone so we can talk freely. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to know what we're talking about and you don't care about the film being spoilt, that's shame on you. You should at least attempt to watch it. It is all over the place. It's on YouTube. It's on Amazon if you pay for rent. You can find it pretty much anywhere you like. But yes, we're going into the spoiler zone. Beware, here be dragons. Roll the jingle. Spoilers! Right, so we're back from the spoiler zone. Spectacular. So, let's get going. So, Elton.
Yes.
As we left the spoiler zone.
Yes.
24 hours ago.
Mm-hmm. People think we're joking, but yes.
People think we're joking.
I nearly ran out of argon.
Yes, I nearly ran out of life force. We were sitting all here, and it was all lovely, and Darren wanted to know why you liked the film.
Yes.
Because right now, the general consensus is you love it. He's not convinced.
Yep.
Jim, you like it, yes?
Yes, definitely.
Brilliant. And I like the concepts. I like the ideas, but I don't feel connected to the humanity of the film. Mm-hmm. So, Elton, as the film's prime advocate, over to you to convince Mr. Barnard over here. Hello?
Hello.
Right.
Hello.
Convince him.
Yes.
Why is it a good film? Why did we watch this film multiple times in the last...
It's funny. It's a question I've asked myself a few times. Yesterday. I've come forward into... Oh, no, I can't come forward, can I? That's right. No, I can only go back. Yeah.
We're all going forward.
We're all going forward. Just when did we turn on our boxes? That's the question.
Do you realise that if they were going forward, they'd just be falling asleep on a bed, and that's it? It's not really time travel, is it? You're just having a kip.
Yeah,
that's all in a gaseous environment.
Yeah, then it would just be called Timer as opposed to Primer.
Yeah.
So brilliant.
It would be called Sunday.
Yeah, it'd be called Lie-In.
Daylight saving time. Clocks go forward.
But I lost an hour.
Yeah, I went to bed at 1 o'clock and I woke up at 2 o'clock and I'd only blinked my eyes. It's time travel. Sorry. Anyway, go on, Elton. Go for it. Go.
So, I understand, Darren, that you want to know why you should put some time into this to actually really enjoy it.
I saw what you did there.
I didn't do that. You did that. So,
did I go back and put the suggestion in your head? Is that what it is?
No, you didn't.
Get it now.
No, right. We're stopping this.
Okay.
So,
wheels off.
You like music, yes?
Yes, I do.
And there have been times where you have had a band or an artist that you like, and then got an album, and you've had to work at it.
Yep, I've had that a couple of times where
And-
I've stupidly bought the album on the strength of just one track.
Yep. But sometimes you find that album and you do work at it, and then all of a sudden it clicks. You like it. You've put effort into that to enjoy it. And I believe that some films deserve and require that as well. And I believe that this is one of those movies that requires it. Now, I enjoy putting work into this because it tickles that little sense of me. I like the time travel stuff. And when you get one which is so impenetrable, like this one, first time out, that intrigues me. That makes me want to work at it. That makes me want to unlock it and find out how it works. It's me breaking it down and discovering, how does it work? Why does it work? And laying out all the screws and knolling it like a Lego kit, and just trying to find out how the intricacies work inside and why does it work as well. And sometimes that sort of stuff fascinates me anyway. I've always taken stuff apart and never been able to put it back together, but this is one of those movies that
Elton, that's not something you should be revealing as a lift engineer.
Wow.
Okay. where have you worked before?
I'm not telling you. I'm not telling you. They are what I like to call surprises.
Yeah.
He's our most efficient member. We send him into a job. He does a job, and he always comes out with extra bits. That, obviously the machine was very inefficient.
That has never happened. I do not know what you're on about.
But you can get down to the ground floor a lot faster than most elevators.
Yes.
But anyway.
They always moan about them being too slow. And so, I just let gravity speed them up a little bit.
That's it. Helps them along. Does the job.
This movie, it ticked all the boxes for me. It's impenetrable. It's interesting. Why is it interesting? I have to ask the question as well, and that intrigues me. It's just something that draws me in more and more. And where time travel is just a MacGuffin in most of the time travel movies, it's just a way of getting someone back into a situation. This is the essence of this movie. This is not a byproduct. It is the product of them, of Abe and Aaron getting together, and they were. And I know you said that you were having trouble on what they were doing with the machine. They were trying to make like an anti-gravity machine. That's why they put the Weeble in there, and they were measuring the weight of it.
How do you know they were originally trying to make an anti-gravity machine? And
because that's what they were trying. Because they put the Weeble
about. To talk about reducing the mass, when it starts working, they've got a scale, and you can see the weight decreasing.
Yeah,
because I didn't hear anybody say, so this anti-gravity machine we're trying to make. So you'll have to excuse me if it kind of flew a bit over my head there.
No, they didn't say anti-gravity. It was just about reducing the mass of things, and they thought about the applications of it, about cargo and stuff. But they put the Weeble in there, and it weighs like 7.2, whatever it is, 7.2 units. And then they turn the machine on, and it's like 6 point something units.
So basically, that was it. They're trying to make things weightless or weigh less using this device.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a byproduct of it is, Abe finds out that he puts the Weeble in, and it comes out with a moss, the thing on it, where it has experienced
mold, basically,
more time.
Yeah.
Than what it actually has. So it hasn't experienced 1 minute, it's experienced 1,300 minutes, and I think it was more than that. Because I know they said it flip flopped 1,300 times, so
It has to be an odd number.
Yeah, because it has to come out on the B end.
Yeah,
and
well, they did say, or the scientist did say, to get the amount of mold that they bought him, it would have to be grown for 5 years.
Yeah,
So this thing has been stuck in a loop for 5 of its Earth years.
Perceptually, it's done 1,300 odd minutes.
Yes.
Or 13,000 minutes going backwards and forwards. But yeah, okay. Before you go any further, Elton, and just because I want to come in on this, because I know exactly where Darren's coming from with this, and Jim, you kind of started saying, you sort of started speaking from Elton's perspective. I would just like to say, as the man sitting squarely in the middle of this one, with on the knife edge of the balance, I would like to say that I've seen this film 4 times now, and even now, the overlapping dialogue, jargon-heavy dialogue, really doesn't explain what they're trying to do, because of the lo-fi nature of the audio, the rapid fire dialogue, the camera work flip flopping everywhere. You don't know who's saying what to who, and I know what you're talking about, and I know what Jim was saying about the lowering the mass of the Weeble.
Yeah,
but I entirely get what Darren is saying.
This is the first I've heard about it.
Yeah,
this is what it is.
There is literally no explicit explanation as to what the fuck they're trying to do.
Yeah, it's just like I say. So, bin liner, orange face, cake hat.
This is
Ribena.
This is why I said before we sat down and watched this, I wasn't joking when I said you really need to pay attention, and you won't get it in the first viewing.
No, I didn't get it in the second viewing either.
No,
that's the thing.
I understand. I understand that. That's why it is such an impenetrable movie. But I think once it clicks, once you see the wood for the trees, then it's much, much easier.
Well, now you've told me, that's fine. You see, now I've got that in my head. Now I know that. Then it's done the heavy lifting for me, where this is concerned, because I still don't think I would have understood what they were making if I've got to be me watching this 6 or 7 times. It's like noise, and then there's like 45 minutes or however long there is of actual film and people doing stuff, and then it goes into noise again at the end. That's how I found it.
Yeah,
I was just about to say, and also the cross talking sounded like people who were forcing a cross talking to make it sound like it was natural dialogue, because it just, I don't know. It just, there was something about it that just didn't work for me where that was concerned.
Right.
That, yeah.
So it's people trying to make natural conversation, but it feels unnatural in its state.
Yeah. It's like if you have to think about walking, if you have to think about how your legs work, it doesn't, then it's like, oh, fuck, what am I doing? I can't make my legs move. But if you just do it, then that's great. It works. And this is kind of the same thing. It's just, unless you say to someone, look, this is the subject I want you to talk about, this is the kind of way I want you to go for it, then that's great. But it sounded like a scripted crosstalk.
Okay.
And it didn't help that the 2 leads were exactly the same person. They looked the same. They sounded the same. On the narration, I couldn't figure out who was narrating either. It's like, which one is it?
Oh, really?
They sounded exactly alike. They've got the same emotional range. They've got the same delivery. They've got the same range of expression on their face as well. So it's like, I don't know. It's.
Can I ask?
Go on.
What do you think happened in the movie?
What do I think happened in the movie? I think some people were doing a thing, and then accidentally they found out they'd made like a time travel device.
Yeah.
And then they did some time traveling. And this is where I kind of like this, and it's the whole thing with the phone in the pocket and stuff like that. Is like, oh no, here we go. Right. So you're going to do that. You're doing the whole thing of you're changing history. So, oh, yeah. Okay. Let's go with this. I've done this before with other films that have done this, and I've been perfectly fine. I love Terminator. You know, what can I say? You know, it does the same thing. So whenever a time travel film does that, I kind of take it less seriously, but I just go with it anyway. But with this, you have to take it seriously because it's delivered seriously.
Yeah.
And with the big words that are being said, it sounds like you must take it seriously because science. And I'm like, but I don't. Is it me? Am I? Obviously, I don't know. Maybe I need to be or something. And I'm just. It's just not sticking with me. It's just like for half an hour or 25 minutes, it's blah, 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 basketball game, and this is what we're going to do. And it's just like, oh, now you're speaking English. Now I get this. I understand what you're doing. I understand what you're trying to do in this. And it got to near the end, and I'm like, so has he fixed the timeline or has he not? Is this how it's ending? I don't know. I've just kind of got a bit lost. It just...
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. And like I say, I think it's got a lot to do with the guys playing the role. You know, it's like somebody went, I've got this really fucking great idea for a movie, right? It's brilliant, this, okay? And what I'm going to do is to sell it to the studio, I'm going to film it myself with me mates, just so they get an idea of what it is I want to do. And we can get someone in to do all the big stuff, like the really good actors, special effects, whatever. But look, this is the direction I want to go with this movie. This is my vision.
Right.
And he gets his mates in and they film a film. And that's what it felt like.
Okay.
As I say, the guys doing the delivery have got, you know, it's when you're delivering this stuff. What is it that Harrison Ford once said? George, you can write this shit, but you can't say it. You know, you've got to have the right person. For me personally, anyway, it's something about them.
Okay.
As actors that just didn't work for me.
Well, the thing is, the director said he wanted the film to feel like you're eavesdropping on people. And the whole aesthetic of the film is to do something that is completely anti-Hollywood, I think. And real people aren't good actors and do mumble.
No, they're not good actors.
You know what I mean? But it's also, I think, it's deliberately obtuse because he's making you work from the outset of saying, this isn't going to spoon feed you in any way. You've really got to, which, as I say, this was a small film. It wasn't aiming to get Avengers money ever.
No.
That wasn't a mission statement for it. And I think kind of the nature of the story, it does fit the way they did it. Because I know after the first time I watched it, I thought, this has been great, but you could have done a bit clearer. But on subsequent viewings, we're like, actually, if they did it clearer, it wouldn't work. You have to have, because it is that kind of, where this is different from, I think, virtually every other time travel movie, is that no one actually knows the rules of what they're doing, not even them.
Yeah.
And you're discovering the rules as they're discovering the rules. And even at the end, they've not figured out all the rules, because one of them's going, fuck this, we've got to stop this, never do it again. And the other one's effectively gone batshit crazy about it.
Yes, and built a fucking great enormous one in the hangar in France.
Or is it an enormous one, or is it lots of different ones?
Well, I mean,
We'll maybe get to that later.
I was going to say maybe get to that later, but
Yeah.
the
There's
guy,
so many tangents here.
yeah, the guy who is building that,
Yeah, Aaron 3.
is it Aaron 3? I thought it was Aaron 2.
No, Aaron 2's the narrator, I think.
Okay. Yeah. And
But
so
I bow to Elton's superior knowledge here. He's got notes color coded by ties.
yes, I know.
I'm a rank amateur here, you know.
Yeah, and I'm a fourth Dan. I'm not really anywhere near any of this stuff. I mean, without going too far down the tangents, it was my understanding that it was Aaron 2 simply because Aaron 2 is in it for the most amount of time, and he's the one who says about halfway through, why don't we just build a box the size of a warehouse? And he actually comes out and says it.
Well, can I? May
Yeah,
I?
yeah.
Please.
No, feel free. Go we have to return to Darren in a minute.
Yeah.
So I'm just listening anyway.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you
Go
know,
for it.
I believe it is Aaron 2. Yes. So, because there's a couple of times where they travel back, they use the fail-safe. And it's really difficult to work out when they use the fail-safe. But Aaron uses the fail-safe first. So he's in control of everything.
Yes.
He travels back, then drugs himself, and then on the second loop, he returns again and then gets overpowered. That Aaron gets overpowered. That's the one with the hoodie on.
Yeah.
So then he gets kind of beaten up by himself and leaves. I think that's the narrator, and that's also the one that leaves to go to France.
Yes.
That's what I've heard online called Hooded Aaron, who they think is the second one.
Yep.
It's the third. The third Aaron is the one actually, apart from the garage scenes, from the first bench scene, where Abe goes to talk to him to tell him about this time travel and show himself using it. That's Aaron 3 all along, because he has the earpiece in. Aaron 2's already left town, and Aaron 1 is drugged and tied up in their own attic. And
He's
his
the
wife
birds
thinks it's
in the
rats.
attic, yeah.
He's the rats in the attic.
Okay. And here we go. No, right before we
Oh
go
my
to-
God, I love this.
Oh God, here we go again. Before we go too far down the time travelly, noodly, timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly, and all that kind of stuff, I would just like to return once again to the Darren's points, because I feel they are quite valid.
Of course, yeah.
Because, and I'm, tell me if I'm speaking out of turn for you, Dal, but it's
no, go ahead.
But just to go back to the bit that you were saying, Jim, about the fact that it's a way of delivering the movie because you're listening in on the film.
Yeah.
Because my problem with all the whole film is the same as Darren's to a certain degree of, if I don't invest with the people, if I don't understand what's going on with them, I can't get on board with anything other than sitting here going, the timey-wimey bit's really clever, but I don't give a shit about these guys over here. I would just say that, again, I've watched it now 4 times. I understand why you want to pick it apart, because I think the intellectual discussion, and as I said just before the spoilers, it's a good pub movie. It's definitely a movie you come out of the pub, go to the pub, and you spend all night just pulling it apart and ripping it apart and picking things up. But it's the ideas you're doing that with. I don't think you give a shit about Aaron or Abe as people.
No, I agree. I think that the characters are meant to be stoic like that.
And that's cool. That's cool. If that's what, not every character in every film has to be likable. You can't just have films where people are instantly likable, because what's the point? But just to go back to the main problem is coming in a verite style where it's like, because everything's rough and ready and everything's cross talking and all this kind of stuff. It was mentioned before before the spoiler zone. I think it was you mentioned it, Darren, if my brain from 24 hours ago is to be believed. But there's a couple of good cross-talking examples. One is Alien, round the dinner table, and the idea there is that they were given sort of things that they were interested in as little note sheets, and just told, talk about that to so and so. So they would just riff. So you got them all riffing and talking and just jamming and blah, blah, blah. And it feels natural. The other one is the opening of Reservoir Dogs, when they're in the cafe, before it turns into the monologue about Madonna, big dick, and not tipping and all that kind of stuff. But before that, it's all crosstalk, but it's natural. The crosstalk in this, at the beginning, renders a fair 30% of the movie incomprehensible on first watch, I would say. And I found myself this time round, knowing what I know, still, but having not seen it for, God, years, coming in and going, I know this all matters, but does it matter as much as figuring out the time travel puzzle, which is essentially the last 2/3? And in my mind, after a while, I became a bit frustrated with the crosstalk myself this time round, because I thought, yes, they're trying to make a machine, anti-gravity machine, got all of that, but the cutting the guys out, pretending there was rats in the garage, fumigating the place, and these other two dudes who appear and talk across each other in the dining room, kitchen, while the wife kind of plodders around and does a bit of washing up. And these other two guys are going, oh yeah, but it's my turn, and blah, 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 and you're like, I have no idea what you two are talking about at all. And do I have to concentrate on what you guys are saying? Is it important to the plot? And then they're gone. And then you're left with Aaron and Abe. And I'm like, got it. Right, fine. We're with the Mormons. And because they dress like Mormons. I don't care what anyone says. They are. It's like the Book of Mormon with those two guys.
Yep.
And then in amongst all of that, there's Granger, who we will get to. But Granger gets mentioned once in a part of the telephone narration as a throwaway. And it was only after we get to almost the very end that I realized Granger is somehow related to the blonde girl, who I didn't actually realize until that point was actually Abe's girlfriend.
Yes.
But again, it's so obtuse. It's so convoluted in the way it's delivering even the most simplistic of concepts. Abe plus girlfriend plus father equals investor. It's like you didn't need to tell that bit in a way that was like unpicking a ball of wool. You could have just said
in the narrative bit for the party, he does say Rachel is Abe's girlfriend and her dad is this inventor who always gets invited.
Yeah. but she's already been in the film for like nearly, she's been diving in and out of the movie for like 20, 30 minutes. And then Granger gets mentioned once. And then next thing you know, he's in the car behind them. And it's like, who? What? and then it's like suddenly he's written out. He's gone. He's spoken about in the narration. He's in a vegetative state. Who is? Who? What? And again, rewatch helps for sure. But that first time, maybe even that second time, and for me, the fourth time, once I tuned into it, I was fine. But it was like, it's like that whole thing of getting back on the horse and going, oh, I've got to be in this mindset. I've got to pick this bit apart. The film demands a lot of the audience without giving anything back in return. I think the puzzle, the time travel puzzle, which we will go into probably from here on in, but just to sort of shore up what Darren's saying and what I kind of still feel, the human elements and some of the stuff that's the most basic of narratives, it gets hidden under slews of unnecessary dialogue. And you could be forgiven for saying to someone, actually, you can skip forward 30 minutes to the point where they got the box and start there. Because the film has nothing of worth that you can glom onto at the start to tell you anything.
I think that first half hour is setting you up for... It's kind of prepping you for listening.
Yes. But it doesn't reward you for listening because nothing they tell you is of worth.
It doesn't, but it also shows you these people would drop anyone at a drop of a hat. And because they felt that they weren't pulling their weight on anything.
But then they were developing some graphics card and then posting them off in jiffy bags.
Yeah, they were doing something, but it wasn't making enough money for them, and so they kind of like let them loose, really.
Yeah, but that's my point. Is the film spends a strangely large amount of time focusing on something that has absolutely zero impact on anything on it. Doesn't add background or flavor or anything. You still, even if they were posting off tabs of ecstasy, there's the emphasis on these jiffy bags and these guys making a vote on these bags and what they're going to do with them. I just felt like, no, I don't understand that at all. I don't understand why I'm even concentrating on this. And then once they vanish, it's like, oh, it's kind of like that Nick and Alice film I was talking about the other day. I said the other day, yesterday. It's like, here's a time machine and here's a person who was discovered in mysterious circumstances. Oh, well, that's got to be related to the time machine because you spent so long focusing on that. That's got to mean something. And the film goes, nah, he's dead.
Right.
Don't worry about it.
You sit down over there.
Yeah.
Well, you needed them for the party. You needed those guys for the party because they went to the party and they set up that interaction because the party had already happened.
The party is a different time thing altogether. It's an interesting thing that everyone who does the explanations about the party, does the explanations about this film on YouTube, always says, let's just skip around the party. And it goes on to explain
the party is quite crucial because at the party, I mean, we only see an altered timeline. This is the thing. At the party, Rachel's ex turns up with a shotgun. In the version of reality that has played out, Aaron has talked him down. He's been arrested. No harm, no foul. But I only got this on my third watch. That isn't always the case because Aaron has been going back again and again to get that to happen like that. Because the reason Granger is Rachel's dad, the reason he goes back in time, because the timeline he's come from, things didn't go down that way. Things went a lot worse.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why that's something to do why he's come back in town and he's mad looking and dishevelled. Basically, they've erased that timeline he's come from, and that's why both like him and Aaron almost faint when they contact each other because he's from a collapsed timeline.
Right.
Ah, okay. I had different thoughts on that. But that's cool. I like that.
Okay.
Yeah, because the whole thing with Granger is kind of like, well, why the fuck's he following us? And then they realise it's not our Granger; it's a Granger from the future, and that kind of sets up the end game where Abe is going, right, we've got to close this down, and Aaron's, yeah, fuck it, let's just carry on fucking around with time. I can just keep looping this shit till I get it to do what I want.
Yeah,
I think the kind of. Yeah. I mean, it is a puzzle box of a film, but it's designed that way because you have to think into this problem, and it's a very kind of coldly tech nerd way of sort of, I think it's going for how do you solve this? You know what I mean? When you're, you know what I mean? It's kind of what would you do with this power to create these time loops at will?
Yeah,
and at first it's kind of like we will not alter time, and then Aaron starts pushing it and he oh dear, I accidentally brought my phone with me, and then that's kind of we can change time, and the whole thing of like changing time and then doing something then unhappening it is from that conversation they had from the lady on the sofa about punching that guy. Because in the first bit, you heard that basically those four came up with something and they got ripped off by this guy.
What?
And is it Joe, somebody? And then later on they talk about, wouldn't it be good to go and you could just punch him in the face, and with the machine we could unhappen it so we could get away with it.
Hang on, whoa, donkey, back the truck up. The punching the guy in the face, I had no relation to. Okay, Darren, please help me here because I've gone right over to your side here.
I will just say this: What movie are you talking about now? Are we still talking about Primer? Because this is all kind of. Is that what happened? Oh, okay.
There's all things that are mentioned very, very. Just you really have to do a proper Sherlock Holmes on this shit. But it is kind of, if you keeping track of kind of like the people they mention and who they are, is kind of I was able to start to put things together on this viewing and going, oh, hang on, right. That guy that's about punching in the face isn't some random guy. It's the guy who we heard earlier had ripped them all off, which is why they're stuck doing this shitty homebrew mail order company business in the garage at the start, and why Aaron and Abe say, fuck it, let's just screw those other two guys and let's just go and fucking take a chance on a project of our own.
Yeah.
You see, I've got a bit of a problem with this thing about keep looping round, because isn't he going to meet himself?
Well, they do.
Well, they do, yeah.
But if he's done it so many times, there should be a whole army of Aarons.
Well,
and there's like two, and it's like, so you've only done this twice or three.
It depends what you do in the loop. It depends what you do in the loop. If you're a good lad, you can do the loop, and you don't end up with two. It's like if you go to the hotel room and sit there, and then go back, you're never in danger of meeting yourself, and you don't end up with two people. However, if you try and sort of use the failsafe, then go back beforehand, that's when you start running into when you're looping the loop, basically.
Yeah.
So I didn't know about this failsafe device until we actually mentioned it at the end of the film.
Aaron found out as well because he was a bit nosy and went up and found the failsafe that Abe had set up before Aaron had actually time traveled.
What does how does the failsafe work? Because I'm confused about that as well. These boxes,
they work. You set them up, right? And basically, once they're set up and running, you can go in the box and go back to the moment that box was set up.
Now, I understand that.
Okay,
So,
now what Abe has done, he's built like the first machine, which is the failsafe, which is running in a secret lockup.
So let's, for argument's sake, say that's Monday. Just to give it dates.
Yeah, that goes back to Monday. That goes back to Monday. He's then set up another box in a second storage unit, and that box is Tuesday, the second box. It's the Tuesday box Abe shows to Aaron on the bench. And, you know,
they go back to Tuesday.
As far as he thinks, anyway, Aaron, that's you know, Aaron's seeing the Tuesday box and thinks Tuesday is the one and only box. However, he's got the failsafe box, so you can always go back to an earlier point and scrub all this out if it fucks up.
Yeah, it goes back to Monday if he needs to.
But at some point, Aaron has discovered that failsafe. He's gone back and used it and took a kit form box with him and basically set a different
box
start point that gives him control of all the timelines.
Yes.
Well, he collapses his own box and then takes that back.
No, he makes a new one. He made a kit part one. They actually say that he brought a kit part one because essentially, to use the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday thing, Abe sets up one on Monday, turns it on. So whatever day he gets into this thing, from there on in, he's going back to that Monday when he first built the box. He sees Aaron, tells Aaron about it, and then on Tuesday, they go to this other box, turn them on, go to Wednesday, find out what stocks they need, get in those boxes that take them back to Tuesday, and start the day again. That's your first loop. But meanwhile, the other box, the first box, is still sitting there ready to send them back to the original Monday.
Yep, absolutely.
Right. So we go loop, 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 loop. We keep looping and looping and looping and going and earning money. And eventually shit goes south with Granger turning up and all that kind of crap, which we won't get into just yet. And Abe goes, fuck this shit, I'm out. I'm going to go back to the original starting point, go back to the original Monday. Before I told Aaron any of this, I'm going to stop myself, destroy the boxes, whatever, and nobody will know about time travel anymore, and I won't fuck up the world.
Okay? But he has to spend 3 days in that box getting back to where he was.
For as much time as the box goes forward, you have to spend going backwards.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So there's a danger in that, because obviously if you left it running for a year, you'd need a year's worth of oxygen, food, and everything else to get back to that point. So Abe goes to do it, but in the interim, Aaron has found the invoices and the manifest that says there was another box built somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
He finds Abe's Monday box, goes, cheeky fuck, gets in it, goes back to Monday himself with the parts for another box. So now he goes back with parts for another box. So now what you've got is you've got Abe's Monday box. You've got Aaron's newly minted Monday box.
Mm-hmm.
But Abe's Monday box is slightly, it's been used by Aaron and then reset by Aaron to come back on. So it's actually, let's say Monday afternoon as opposed to Monday morning when it was originally switched on.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Aaron's box, new one, has been switched on Monday morning. So we got Aaron's Monday morning box, Abe's Monday afternoon box, and the two boxes that they were doing loop, 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 loop. Mm. So Aaron is the guy who can go back in time and fuck things up, as opposed to Abe. Are you with me so far, Dal?
Yep, that's all spot on.
Darren?
I think so.
Blink twice if you're in a hostage situation.
Okay, can I ask then? So,
Mm.
in the film, he says, Abe says to Aaron, and once again, I think it's being obtuse on purpose when you have your two characters called Abe and Aaron as well. That the names are so close that you are bound to trip up on them, and that's done on purpose. So I quite like it for that. But they say that the boxes are one-time use only. But I honestly thought Aaron broke down his box and took that back in Abe's box, Abe's fail-safe box, and then set that up because he says, so they're not one-time use only. They are. You can use them again and again.
Yes, because the thing is, the one-time use only thing is that you spin them up and they go, and then once you come out of them, they go because you broke the field or whatever's running that thing. So, but what you can do is you can spin them back up again.
Yes.
So they aren't one-time use. But they found that out because that's how they were going round and round and round and looping and looping and looping and doing the shares.
Mm.
So that's already done. But the voiceover Aaron, whether that's Aaron 2 or Aaron 3, we'll get to that in a minute, says on the narration, Aaron made his own broke down box, flat pack box, and brought it with him in his in Abe's failsafe.
Okay, I must have misheard that then. I honestly thought he broke down his box.
You have to watch it. You have to watch it a 12th time.
That's fine. I'm happy with that. I'm content with that.
So, go on.
This is what I like about it. I'm still learning about it, and quite happy to learn about it. This is what I like about it.
So this is the thing. So just to start again, Dal. Just to be sure,
you did this to yourself, Darren. By the way,
if I'd known that this, I'd have to have a degree in something to watch this film. I probably would not have bothered with it, but because I'm starting to feel very old now.
So
I've got to say, if I can just come and just say this now, I don't think this was the film for me.
No.
There is too much work going on for just a film. Too much work. You know?
At this point, Darren's soul left his body, got on a bus and went on holiday.
There's too much I've missed. People are having to tell me about this stuff. I'm not spotting it during the film. So me and the film are broken, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm not catching it. It's that there are films that are for there are films that are for you, and there are films that are not for you. And I think this one's not for me.
No,
because I don't know any of this stuff you're talking about. I have absolutely no idea of this at all. It's just this is a different film you're talking about now, and I'm like, yeah, I know that bit, but also that was in it as well. And see, if I had not sat here and talked to you guys, I wouldn't know about any of this. If I could be bothered to get off my arse and look at someone on YouTube telling me, fair enough. But that's the thing. Yeah. Why have I had to have this sort of three people telling me this? This says to me that maybe, I don't know. Some things work for me. Some things don't.
No, I totally get it. I like I say, I've always been of the opinion, and I've always stuck with this right from when we were watching Battlestar Galactica, and there was always those people coming out of the woodwork at me going, "No, but if you listen to Ron Moore's podcast," it's like, no. if it requires me to do a fucking PhD in fucking biomechanics, I'm just not having it.
No, but that's extracurricular. Whereas you can get everything from this film from the film.
Well, can you? Because you're still sitting here waiting for us, still getting stuff from us.
which is
isn't part
yeah.
of
But
the
where
film.
did you get that from? You got that from the film, and you're telling me, and that's why I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I'm not knocking you for it. Hold on, I'm just going to stick something in the chat for Darren. Darren, here we go. This YouTube video will explain it all. You can watch that. It's 16 minutes long. You can watch that, and we'll carry on talking.
I thought you might have put like a cat toy in there.
No,
I think the cat toy is about my level.
A laser pointer.
Yeah, because you know when you have that moment when you realise you're not an intellectual. This is mine. I'm obviously even more simple. I'm honestly, when I say this, it's like you guys are riffing off one another like nobody's business with this, and I'm still at the start line.
Okay.
Did you look at the Martin the diagram Martin Thompson put up? Because that was a big help.
No, I never looked at anything like that at all. I was expecting to walk into this, and as I watched it, start to get. But there's things you're pulling out of the hat here, like machine number 4, and it's like, what do you mean machine number 4? What really? Because I know there were 2 in one room and there was 1 in another. But now you're telling me there's like 4 of them, or maybe a 5th one, and it's just like I didn't see that. My mental, my brain is, as I'm getting old, because I am the oldest one. Come on, let's face it. Maybe this is a sign. Maybe I need to go and get tested.
Is this the moment you step down from the podcast, citing mental issues and creative differences?
Maybe this is the running the hand over the corn as walking through a field to Elysium. Yeah, Elysium.
Maximus is off to Elysium.
Where Ree and Maria are waiting for me at the end of a path or something. I don't know.
Saying Tuesdays, they're all yours again, Darren.
Yeah.
While Hans Zimmer plays in the background.
Darren got on his hands and knees and started kissing her feet.
I'm having my judgmenty moment.
You're off for the long walk.
I'm going for the long walk. Yes. I'm going off for the long walk now because I hesitated. I hesitated when I should have fired.
Do we need to have Scotty playing you out on a set of bagpipes and firing you off the Genesis?
Don't launch me off into stick me in a coffin and hand me a steering wheel and then say until you can learn how to steer this, don't come back, and then fire me off towards the sun. I'm not dead.
I'm feeling better. No, I would say the thing with the boxes is that most cardinal of sins, which a lot of people hated the original Blade Runner for, which is done in narration. You don't see them. You don't see the 4th box.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So there are things in this film which don't ever happen on screen and only happen in narration, which in one way is kind of cool because you can just listen to it. On the other hand, it's kind of annoying because if you miss the narration a little bit, even so much as a fraction of it, you lose an awful lot. There's no visual clues on the screen to give you the foot up and to catch up on it. Don't start crying. It's not big. It's not big. It's not becoming. It's not becoming. Stiff up a lip, man.
No, I'm just, I'm just an old man sitting on a porch, drinking a mint julep, watching the sun go down, and enjoying everyone else enjoying themselves.
You're like Thanos at the beginning of Endgame, just sitting in his field, watching out over the world that he's created.
Yeah. Can I be honest for a moment?
Go.
When we had technical issues yesterday, and we're all in the green room, I knew this film wasn't for Darren. When you perked up and you went, did anyone see that Superman trailer? And I thought,
Supergirl trailer.
do you know what? I don't think you're going to like this, are you? Because you got really excited about that, and I'm as excited about this as you were about that trailer.
So it took you until then to realise that, and not the bit where I sat there going, I've got crumbs on my keyboard. And I just wonder why I can't get rid of the crumbs from my keyboard. It was Alondo Malari. Was it? My shoes are too tight and I've forgotten how to dance. Yeah. Yeah. I'm doing it again. I'm just moving the crumbs off my keyboard.
Yeah.
There we go.
Darren, Did you notice the colours of their ties changing?
Oh, here we go.
You see, I wouldn't have even thought of that until Jim mentioned about the ties. And it's like, was there a changing? Oh, God, this is going to complicate it even more, isn't it? If I'd gone back on a third time, I probably would have looked for the actual ties.
So when you do a rewatch, you need to look for ties and earpieces.
Yeah. But I don't
they're
think...
your clues to who is actually who.
Right.
I don't know if the ties really matter that much.
Well, I was going to bring that up once we'd sort of settled Darren down with a Horlicks and Mr. Blankins rocking on the porch, because everyone goes on about the ties, and this time I specifically watched it for the ties, and the one thing that came to my mind was it wasn't deliberate, it was film stock, because Aaron's haircut changes from frame to frame at some point, and I honestly thought it was an inconsistency in the film rather than actually a clue.
Okay, well, does the film cheat you a little bit? Because there are jump cuts. There's that moment where I think they do the first time travel together, and then you find Abe laying on the floor sleeping, and the phone rings, and he answers it, and then he goes, there's a conversation about, are the kids still in the room? He goes into the room, there's two people in a room watching TV, and then Aaron comes through the door. Do you know what scene I'm on about?
Absolutely not.
No? Oh, okay. I think it's quite early on. And it jump cuts between as if there's multiple timelines. Now, I'm not too sure if it is because there's multiple timelines or if it's because it's been specifically stylized so it looks like there are multiple timelines.
Oh, okay. I'm going to bring Jim in on this because I want this kind of to square me off, because again, I know, I mean, Darren's a hopeless case now. He's been rendered incomprehensible by.
Time has broken him now.
We've broken his
first
him.
victim.
The film has broken him, and he is sitting there with a nice cup of Horlicks, his shoes on, and whale song playing on his headphones.
Do you remember Battlestar Galactica with that guy in the bath that they sent into the sun? I think he's like that.
Yeah, exactly. He's
guy in a bath.
Oh God! Hidden Cylon number 4, the one who was the.
I never got that far into it. I would have remembered the Cylon in the bath, but
driving the Galactica into the sun.
Yeah.
Oh, good Lord. Anyway, right. Fine.
Yes. Anyway, yes.
So Darren's in the Galactica heading sunwards.
Yeah.
And you, Elton, are so immersed in it. You're like those women in the bath in Minority Report. You're 100% in there.
Yeah.
You are over there. So, Jim, as the only other normal person in the room right now, can you tell me how much of this stuff looked like jump cuts cheating, as Elton's saying, and how much of it is just we've got $7,000 and different film stocks, and we've had to film this over the course of 17 months as opposed to 6 weeks, like a most normal film production. Because I get the sense there's a lot of moments where, and this is with the greatest respect to Elton here, that there's certain inconsistencies in the filmmaking which makes the film seem more complicated than it is in certain points.
I think the film stock's valid, because that is a hallmark of this sort of literally homebrew film.
Mm.
I mean, you see it in things like Bad Taste as well, where, you know.
Yeah, and Clerks, even the different grades of black and white. Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, it's like, what's it called? There's that film about the guy trying to make a low budget movie. It's a documentary. I think it's just called American Movie. Sorry. American Movie about the guy trying to.
Oh yes,
he's making this art film and he has to finish this other cheap low budget horror movie. It's a really interesting documentary. Mm. But he was saying he's trying to make this film, and he's going, you know, I've been doing this for 2 years. I've used every f-stop known to man.
There's no consistency. I don't even use the same lenses from one day to the next. I haven't even got the same camera. It's all completely wrong. Yeah.
But, you know, it's kind of, that's that. But I think something like the actual, there is little detail like the ties and who's wearing a headset when. It is a deliberate clue to let you know that, in this scene, that's Abe 2, or that's a different Aaron. Because we know in that first scene where Abe tells Aaron about time travel, he's actually talking to a future Aaron who knows all this shit anyway, and he's got an earpiece so you can replay the conversation properly.
Yes,
he's done all this shit before.
Yeah. Now that's what I'm saying. That's a detail you can pick up on for sure.
Yeah.
And that I'm with. And now, Elton, it's okay. You can step in now. It's fine. But Darren, you just stay there. There's something nice on telly. It's fine. Just keep an eye on it. Just watch the G.I. Joe's on the other side. No.
We'll do the mainstream remake of Primer at some point, which is Project Almanac.
Project Almanac.
But there's a scene with the you can go back and punch him in the face thing where they're talking about a guy who screwed them over. I didn't know anything about the guy who screwed them over in the opening 30 minutes. I gather I can put the pieces together based on what you and Elton have said already, but that was not in the film as far as I can tell. The only other thing I was going to say was, in that scene, Aaron's haircut is totally different from every other part of the film. Now, does that mean that's Aaron 3? Does that mean that's Aaron 4 that doesn't even exist yet? Is that Aaron 2?
I think that's Aaron 2.
Or is that just an inconsistency? Because Aaron 2 from the bench with the earpiece in, and Aaron 2 sitting on the sofa, is it Aaron 2 sitting on the sofa? Because he doesn't have an earpiece in and his haircut's different.
No, I think the one on the sofa might be the original. No, because he's already knocking in the attic, which is the original drugged. So that is Aaron 2, who becomes Hooded Aaron and is the one doing the narration.
Which means that where's his earpiece?
Well, he's not doing that yet because Aaron 3 who sets that up, I think.
Elton, please step in. When does the earpiece become a thing?
I think it is the third time round, so they know exactly what they're doing because they use it at the party. They use it heavily at the party.
Yeah, because it's Aaron 3 who's replaying the party again and again to get the result. The gunman is just talked down and bundled away rather than something fucking appalling happening, which will set her dad Granger on their tail in time. Somehow. We never know how that happens because that timeline has been erased.
Well, they actually, that's the one thing I was going to say. which is either a cheat or it's actually a nice idea that we're coming in halfway through the story. Because on the narration, Aaron, whichever number it is, turns around and says, we don't know where Granger got into the time machine. We don't know when he got out. We don't know how many times we've done it. Aaron's done this party enough times that he can figure everything out and get it to it's just right. But whatever's happened, it's recursive, which means that it's iterating on itself, which means he's done this not once, not twice, not 20, not even 100 times. He's probably done it thousands of times.
I have an idea if you'd like me to.
Sure. No, you like I say, you're the expert here. You take precedence. You come in and say something.
Well,
just step back. I'm not being funny about it. I'm just saying.
No.
I think you've got more valid insight into it than me going Darren going and Jim going. What about the ties?
I'm not an expert on this, but I think because I'm passionate about this movie. I love it so much. So, I believe Granger doesn't get into a box until later on. I think he finds out about the box through the many, many times that they did the parties, because Granger was there, because we're told that he will be turning up because he turns up at these sort of things. And I think he did mention how many times in the narration, how many times do we go to the party? Is it 5? Is it 7? Is it 20? You know, we don't know how many times. I think the official one is that they do it about 12 times, but I'm not too sure.
Where did you get that from?
I think I got that off the internet at some point, but that was a long time ago. But he does mention 20, so I personally believe what's said in the movie is real. So possibly 20 times that they did that loop. And Granger was at that party, and I'm guessing, even though it's off camera, you couldn't think of Abe and Aaron mingling and trying to get this party just so that they either Granger overhears this or they have a conversation with him and something's let loose. So he knows about it. He goes there and he uses the boxes. He is then seen outside in the car with a couple of days worth of growth on his face. That's what they say. So he's clearly been in a box for some time and traveled back. Now, I'm wondering the reason why he collapses is because if he's used the failsafe, like Abe has used the failsafe, at some point, if they're going back to the same point in time, they must be in the box at the same time. And that's why I think that they fall over at the same time. Something happens between them. We don't know. We just run around the corner and find them both on the floor, one of them in a vegetative state. But I think because they were both physically in a box, possibly passing through each other at the same time, using the same failsafe, that's where things get a bit wonky with them both. Thoughts?
Right. Jim?
Right.
Because I've got a thought, but I'll let you go.
Yes.
No, you go with yours because you might forget it.
Okay.
I'm not sure of mine. What mine is, I'll be honest.
Okay.
Surely not over there.
Yeah. My first thought is that basically it happened. He goes into the box at some point in the future, right? He doesn't necessarily need to use the failsafe. He just needs to go into a box turned on before the party.
Yeah.
Depending on how far back he wants to go, though.
Yes, but he doesn't know any of this stuff. We don't know that he knows any of this stuff, and we don't even know if he goes in with oxygen. So there's all manner of unknowns. This is the thing that narrator Aaron says, which is it's unknown, it's recursive, it's amount of changes on changes on changes that are all subtle butterfly effect changes. It's recursive changes. So therefore, at some point in the future, whether it's slightly in the future or very far in the future, Granger finds out about a box, gets in a box, spends too long in it, going backwards and forwards, trying to solve the problem or whatever, for whatever reason, and then it causes an unknowable amount of damage to him. And what we know is that the more you use the box, the worse your handwriting gets, your ear starts bleeding, all sorts of other neurological problems are clearly happening. So, has Granger been through more times than Aaron and Abe?
Possibly. I get the impression that, I mean, I'm just working on complete guesswork here, but I think the character's train of thought is, okay, we had a close call at that party we know of. However, a Granger from the future has come back. What would make Granger start tailing us enough to observe us to figure out how to use the box to come back? Therefore, did something happen to Rachel in a different loop? Which is why Aaron worked so hard to unhappen that. So that Granger will disappear.
Oh, okay, yeah, I like that.
That's how I sort of figure it. He's probably, I'm not sure he knows enough to go back several times, but I think he's come from quite far in the future, which is why he's like unshaven and disheveled, because he's been in that box
for weeks,
quite a while. Yeah.
He must have smelled like shit.
Yep. And that box really needs a good clean out. Needs the sawdust in it changed. Like a litter tray with strange sculptures.
These strange goblins are like, what are these? What's building up in this box? Okay. Are you with us so far, Dal?
I'm still here, yes.
Okay, just checking.
Oh,
what?
Yes.
What?
Oh,
What?
Sorry, I've just found a bottle of Yop in the fridge. I forgot I bought the other day.
Okay.
Ignore me.
Okay. Elton.
Yes.
Right. Well, take us through this now, because we've got theories. We've had theories, and I stopped you on the ties. So, take us through the ties. Take us through what it indicates in your mind, and take us through what the implications are.
I personally don't believe that the ties are that significant. You can watch this without worrying about the ties.
Right.
I think they indicate who you are talking to, but also the earpiece indicates that as well. But I really concentrated on the ties, as you know, because you've seen my laid out plan of red tie, green tie, red tie, green tie, green tie, and protein on Weeble, and then blue tie, then green tie, and I've gone through it, but I don't know how significant it is. The film doesn't rest on that at all. So as much as it is fun, and maybe in the future I'll work it out, or someone else will work it out, and then I'll be like, oh yeah, that's great. I don't rely on it. It's fun to look at, it's fun to watch, but I don't really rest on it at all.
Right.
I think once you know the loops and who's doing what and where, you don't really need that, because that's the fun in trying to keep track anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I tell you what. I've just found this. It's a Reddit thread on Primer, right? And I'm going to read this out, and feel free to stop me at any point, because I just think it might be useful to read it out and see if there's any points in here you might want to address, or things that you might want to bring up or correct. okay? Because there's a response to it, and I think it's actually kind of interesting. Anyway, so someone goes, can anyone explain to me what happened in the film Primer? I watched it last night, super trippy movie, just want to know what I missed because I felt like I missed a lot. Ha 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 ha. So, one guy called Dead Man Messed Up, 11 years ago this is, writes the following. Number 1, 2 heroes accidentally create a small box that causes time travel, although they don't know it. One of the heroes, Abe, goes off on his own, makes a time travel box big enough for a person. He travels back to the start of his day. He drives off, grabs buddy Aaron, shows Aaron himself, Aaron from 3 going into Aaron himself, brackets 3, going into the box. Then they have 2 boxes now, and they travel back to the beginning of their day. They do this a few times with some success, gaming stocks and making money. Aaron's wife complains about sounds of rats in the attic. Aaron takes a call from his wife during the day and uses the box at night, going back to the beginning of the day, then takes a call again, beating himself to the punch, proving that time travel is not a closed loop and things can be changed. They see a man they know as Granger who looks disheveled. They call his house, and there he is. So at some point, Granger will use the box, go into the past, pop out in the state he's in now. Abe, unhappy with these complications, heads to a secret time travel box that he's made called the Failsafe, which takes him back to the day he told Aaron about the time travel. He goes... he has to drug his original self so he can replay these days without the original intervening. He goes back, sees Aaron with an earpiece, and collapses. Right? Which is an interesting point because that's what happens with Granger. He then comes to, and it's revealed that Aaron learned about Abe's failsafe a while ago, stole it away, replaced it with a different failsafe, one that starts a little bit later. Aaron, since gone back in time, drugged his original self, stuck his original self in the attic, brackets, the rats, and replayed the events of the film. Aaron tries to go back in time, drug himself again, but is too weak, and his original self fights him off, and at this point, there are now 3 Aarons in the film. The original, who's drugged in the attic, the one who failed to drug the last one, and obviously the last one. Then, the original drugged Aaron breaks out, the second one flees the country to build a bigger time machine, the third one stays in town to continue as Aaron proper. Finally, he writes, the drugged Aaron drugged Abe busts out at the same time his newer self vows to find a way to prevent them from ever discovering time travel. Of course, he can't, because he'll never be able to go back as far as Aaron did, because the failsafe switcheroo at the midway point. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Someone then replies, they intentionally and successfully create anti-gravity boxes, which knocks off like 10%. But the movie is actually about the story of the end of a friendship. Nobody travels at night except for Granger, who uses one of the 5 p.m. boxes. Abe uses his failsafe, and Aaron uses Abe's failsafe, later his own, except for these occasions. All the boys did was repeat work days twice a day, each weekday, except it was Abe who did this on Monday. Then here's the point. White V-neck wearing Aaron, the one from the Granger incident, didn't technically try to drug an earlier version of Aaron in the black hoodie. Didn't try to drug the earlier version Aaron in the black hoodie. He just rushed him and then lost the fight. Third Aaron, Granger incident Aaron, cannot possibly stay as Aaron proper. That's our attic Aaron. To stay with the family and remain ignorant of time travel. This is the whole point of Hoodie Aaron. Aaron calls to the original Abe to tell attic Aaron in the park, presumably both time traveling. Aaron too leaves the country, and we cannot know for sure which one is working with the French interpreter, which kind of undermines his point. He can't. Oh God, it's all getting a bit convoluted. Yeah, I'm losing my mind. Hold on. So from that, is there anything wrong, or is that the whole is that the whole plot laid out?
That's mostly it, but it doesn't include the party angle,
Right.
which I think is a bit more crucial. Because I did, when I was doing some homework for this show, just I did come across that Reddit thread. I think he does say, "Yeah, I didn't include the party stuff because my brain was on full at the time."
Yeah, that's true. That's exactly what he
Which
said. I left out the party,
which is a fair point because but he does untangle a lot there, and it was kind of when I read that I thought, oh right, yeah, no, yep, and with that, yes, yeah. It's not just me being mad, okay.
Cool. Elton, what is the most crucial fact about Primer and the timeline twiddlies that you think we've all missed? Because, I mean, like anything, if you're a fan of something, you see something that other people don't. And we've clearly missed it. So go for it. You've got your book of facts. Hit us with it.
Well, there's symbolism as well.
Right.
There's a moment in the very beginning of the movie where the garage doors come down.
Oh yes,
and you've got it. It shows 4 windows, and the guy is just talking away in the windows, and you see Aaron move from the right-hand box all the way to the left-hand box.
Yes.
So you have that a couple of times. There's also a really good shot. I wanted to get a screen grab. What I'll do, I'll grab it and put it on the Facebook group later on.
Mm-hmm.
There's a shot where Abe is on the phone to Rachel. She phones him. They're in the garage. You have the doors and you have the box in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
You have Abe on the left-hand side. You have Aaron on the right-hand side. Mm-hmm. And Abe has like 1.5 windows. Once again, using the garage door for the boxes. Yeah. But Aaron has 4 boxes on his side of things. Also, on the ceiling, there's like 2 bits of wood, almost creating an arrow, like a direction. It's right. And it's really... sometimes I think, maybe they didn't see that in the film. That's just a mistake or just left there. I don't know. But then you think, no, they're making a film. They put that there on purpose. There's everything in that film is there on purpose, unless someone leaves like a Starbucks cup in there. But it's definitely on purpose. There's loads of little things like that. I quite like that there's no swearing in it as well. I don't remember a single swear word in there whatsoever. They were drawing the A and B on the book and saying like the wee boys flip flopping between A and B and drawing that little thing, and then you have like Aaron with the basketball doing the loops around his body. That's kind of symbolizing that as well. When they're at the fountain, they got the lights and they're shining that around, and that's kind of symbolizing the same sort of thing. Yeah, it's lots of little things like that, which I flipping love.
Yeah,
and I don't think I noticed them on the first viewing, maybe second or third viewing. It's a couple of down the road, but and then once you start looking at YouTube videos, you're okay. I'm in this deep now, aren't I?
Yeah,
but lots of little things like that. But I think the story itself, I think we've got it. The basis of the story. It's just trying to work it out. That's all.
Okay.
But I think we got the basics of it.
Okay, cool. So I guess the question is really, what's the narrative of the story? I mean, and I'm not talking about just the invention of time travel and how it fucks things up. What's the thing actually trying to tell you? What is the if you took the time travel away, what is this story about?
Well, as you said in that Reddit thing, and I think I said it before. I'm glad I said it before as well.
Yeah.
Like the breakdown of friendships,
Mm.
where you have like the guys in the garage working away, and they knob them off because they got this other little thing, and they're not really pulling their weight, and then you have the breakdown between Abe and Aaron, and what they would do if they were really in this together. Why would they want to be in control? Why would one of them want to be in control more than the other one? Does he not like the fact that he's got there first? I know that it's interesting watching them create this thing, when they take the batteries off and he slides the batteries out, he's like, well, it's not hooked up anymore. It's just on its own. It's like rolling away. It's like perpetual motion.
Yeah.
And so it's that foundation of friendship where all of a sudden you halve your friendship group and just go it alone with like two people.
Yeah.
And then they battle out between themselves. And like the breakdown of that. And then maybe going against yourself as well. Like Abe is he wants to stop it all from happening. He's lost control, but he doesn't know he's lost control, but he wants to use the failsafe to go back to stop himself from creating the time machine. And so he said, he would keep doing that, and at least they'll still be friends because Aaron will follow Abe because they're friends. And that I think that's what it boils down to. It's about the friendship and staying friends and what silly little things can do to friendships.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'd call it silly. I mean, at the end of the day, when your potential father-in-law turns up and as a vegetable and basically collapses in front of you, and you think, "Oh Christ, what's been going on? Why?" And then you realise there's a party where your girlfriend's about to be threatened by an ex,
Yeah.
and you've got to loop around a dozen times to solve the problem. Yeah, I think I'm kind of, yeah. I think you're right. It is about the collapse of a friendship. It's about fighting yourself. It's about losing yourself, losing the whole idea of power and corruption. I mean, what do you think Aaron 2 is going to do with that super huge box?
Well, he does say, when he's given the instructions, he says about one every metre and a half. I don't think he's building one big box. He's building a fleet of boxes.
Right.
What his plan is, I don't know. I think the effects of time travel has possibly sent him over the edge by this point. But that's it. That is quite worrying. What is he intending to do with either one big box or a lot of little boxes?
Oh, I've just had an idea.
Go on.
So if you had a box running and you took that back with you, but it was still running. So I'm just thinking you could cut corners with time travel, so you wouldn't have to spend 3 days in a box. You could just spend 1 day in the box you brought back.
No, because you're still doing perceptual time. That's that starting loop with 1 minute forward, 1 minute back.
Yeah.
So if you get in a box and it's, let's say for easy maths, it's 1 day you leap forward, and then it means you've got to spend a day in the box to leap back. Yeah?
Yeah.
If you put another box in that, you're turning it on at what point?
Before it goes in the box.
So you're turning it on. You're turning it on in the future.
But taking it back.
And then taking it back. So if you take it back, you can use the box to travel into the future, but you're doing that by traveling outside of the box anyway. Because you're going to have, let's say...
Yeah, that breaks down the film, doesn't it? Yeah.
Well, it's like if the big box, let's just say the big box is on a Monday, right? And you turn on the little box that you're going to take inside on the Tuesday, and you spend a day in the box to go back to Monday. You've still got to spend a day in the Tuesday box to go forward to Tuesday. Well, you might as well just stay outside the box.
Yeah.
Outside of the Monday box.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, does it? Sorry.
No, it's just because you. Cause
Got that
I
bit.
was. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, edit. I was going to say the thing with a bigger box gives you more space to bring in equipment, gear, oxygen, so you can travel much further back. And my thought was war. And what I mean by that is you can sell that something like that to the government. Say like using the current, shall we say, unpleasantness in the Middle East,
which is a very it's a typical British understatement way of putting it.
Yes, the unpleasantness in the Middle East.
That slight problem we've got over there, over that side of the sea. Yes.
Now some dumpy orange fuck could perhaps have made a terrible, terrible miscalculation and realised that he's got no friends, everyone hates him, and he's fucked up the world economy, and he might want to like not do that, right? Or he might want to change his strategy. If you have a box that's several thousand meters across and has enough room for barracks and rooms and space and kitchen gear and toilets and all that kind of stuff.
Making it livable and comfortable.
Yes. You could switch it on before you start the ill-advised pile of shitstorm in the Middle East. Have the fuck up. Go, oh no, made a mistake. Bit of an issue. Get back in the fucking thing. Spend 2 weeks going back in time. And then go, right, let's try that again.
Yeah.
That's what I thought the large box was for. I thought it was governmental science experiment, sell it to the highest bidder, make an absolute mint.
I didn't think about what I just thought of it as more of a comfortable space in which to travel. So you could turn it on and then spend 6 months in it going back, getting all your information, and then live comfortably in this room for 6 months.
So can I say something here? Okay, what I'm about to do, right? Okay,
yes,
may
just
seem
leave
like,
the podcast.
but yeah, it's been fun, guys. It's been we knew this moment was coming. You're going to hate me for saying this, but considering
who's Aaron?
yeah, who is Aaron? Who the fuck is Aaron? Considering where this thing ends up, and they're building like a bigger room to send this, are we saying that Primer was the prequel to Crime Traveller? Thank you very much. I'm here a week.
Get out. Just get out.
But seriously, was it though?
No. Apart from anything, Crime Traveller came out first.
But did
Or
it?
did it?
Oh, shut up. Shut up, you tart. Thanks for that, Dal.
You, my son, are so very welcome.
Oh dear.
Yes. So, Jim,
Yes.
questions. Do you have any? What would you like to explore about this movie, so that we can plunder Elton's knowledge, vast and wide and deep as it is?
Well, I must say, the main one, the one I actually noted down so I'd remember for this cast is what do we think the plan is for Aaron at the end? And I think that's an open question. I don't think there is an answer that's meant, to be left hanging.
Which Aaron are we talking about?
The Aaron who goes away and we see overseeing the building of a new huge scale box project. It seems like the other Aaron, who's the film's narrator, he's very much taking the original Abe view, which is kind of, this was all a colossal fuck up. I want no part of it. I'm just getting out of here. I'm right. Because the whole thing, from my reading of it, I'd come through ask whether this is right, but he's narrating and putting this all down for the original Aaron, saying, this is what happened. This is why you were drugged in the loft. And there is that line, I consider my debt to you now paid with this. And then he's going to basically just fuck off out of it and just have nothing more to do with this nonsense. In the same way as the second Abe is going to make sure that original Aaron and Abe never get into this mess in the first place. That they will not be able to invent time travel.
Okay, hang on. So, Elton, you're going to have to step in here, but for my clarity before you do, are you saying that Attic Aaron, who was drugged in the first place, he knows diddly squat about any of it?
I don't think he does, because he gets drugged and replaced, and Aaron 2, 3. A future Aaron basically stands in for him.
Yeah,
because he's an Aaron. It's an Aaron with an earpiece from the future who is at the bench. Who Abe reveals the discovery what the boxes can do too. So the real Aaron Prime, if you will, is always in the attic.
Right, and he knows nothing about it.
Yeah, and effectively Aaron's own Abe's double is now kind of like the guardian angel / saboteur who's going to make sure that their machine never works to do this. But you do have this sort of wrinkle of that the hooded Aaron, the narrator of the film, has put this all down to explain it to Aaron.
Yeah.
The original Attic Aaron. And so is all of this just an absolutely insane letter this poor bastard's received?
But that also keeps the loop alive as well, doesn't it?
Well, it does. But you have a situation where potentially original Aaron knows that they did this, but none of it's happened. And try as he might, because of the other Abe, he'll never be able to do it because he'll always be a shadowy figure fucking things up.
Yeah.
However, just now, just correct me if I'm wrong here, Elton, because you're our failsafe on this one. Abe Prime is also gassed and stuck in a cupboard. Correct?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
By Abe 2.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Abe 2, who will go on to say this is all too much. We've gone too far. We've dug too deep. We've been too greedy. Blah blah blah, and it's all gone horribly wrong. Right. Okay. And Aaron Prime doesn't know anything about the time travel. So the only person that knows about the time travel is Abe in all his forms. Because Abe Prime, drugged and stuck in a cupboard, is drugged and stuck in a cupboard by Abe 2, who went into the failsafe. But we already know that the failsafe has been fucked with.
Yes.
It has.
So it's too late.
Well, it's still early enough to stop him from actually creating the time machine.
No, because because Abe 1, at the very beginning of the film, you see him come out, walk onto the roof, look down on Aaron. Right at the very start of the film.
Yes.
He walks out onto the roof, looks down, and then the film goes back and starts off. So that's Abe 1. He's tried the time machine, built his failsafe, set it off, and then the film happens.
Yeah.
Now, Abe 2 doesn't know about the failsafe being futzed with, goes back in time after everything that's happened, goes back in time, gasses himself, Abe 1, puts him in a cupboard. Abe 1 has already done the first time travel jump, so he knows about the time travel. Because Abe 2 has come out of the failsafe slightly later than Abe 1 came out of the failsafe. Yes?
I'm not sure.
Because Abe 1 comes out and starts the whole thing off. Starts the whole shebang off. Comes out, he tries it once, comes out, says, I've got something to tell you. Abe 2 goes into the failsafe later on, but by that point, Aaron's fucked with the failsafe.
Yeah.
And the failsafe is now going to come out at a slightly later time, which means that Abe 1 came out in the morning, for argument's sake, and Abe 2 comes out in the afternoon of the same day.
Yeah.
Right. So therefore, Abe 1 knows about the time travel, doesn't know about the consequences that Abe 2 does.
Well,
so therefore,
yeah,
Abe 2 fucking things up, and Aaron 2 sending a message back to Aaron 1 doesn't solve anything, because Abe 1 still has invented time travel, still has it in his head, and still doesn't know the consequences, other than some fucker tried to gas him. Doesn't know why.
Yeah, because he's still created it, hasn't he? He's the creator of it.
So then the whole film is a loop, because it doesn't matter what happens.
Yeah.
Abe 1 still knows the time travel. Aaron 1 only knows about time travel from a message from Aaron 2. Abe 2 is fucking things up, but he knows he can't do everything. And the two original primes are in the same position that we believe that they're in at the start of the film.
Yeah.
Ring the bell. Does that make sense to you?
I think I think so, but is Abe 2 unaware that he has no effect on anything, even though he thinks he has effect on something?
Yeah, well, he's saying he's going to try and stop Aaron,
yes.
Or he's going to try and stop Aaron and the time machines and all the other thing. He's going to try and stop it all. But that's because he thinks he stopped himself from doing it in the first place. He thinks he's locked the top of the time loop off.
Yeah.
By being in the failsafe. But he's completely unaware of Aaron having the failsafe until it's too late.
Yeah.
Because Aaron's already had the failsafe, fucked with it, confessed, and fucked off to France.
Yeah. Yeah, but did he ever confess to Abe?
Yes, he did it, because he said it in the narration.
Oh, okay.
Because he said, I confessed, it was at that point I confessed to Abe that I'd found his manifest and I found all these things and I'd built the flat pack time travel thing and I've gone back and all this kind of thing. Which means that by that point, it's too late to do anything. Yep. You can't stop Abe because Abe 1, because Abe 1's already done it. Aaron's closed off that loop by creating a failsafe that goes slightly somewhere else. And Aaron 2's like jumping in going, yeah, Abe's never going to invent time travel because I am going to take over his whole day, breathe in this gas.
Yep.
But it's like, no, you've come in late, mate. It's too late. You've come in late. You've used the failsafe, sure, but you've used the failsafe after your original's already used it.
Yeah.
So the whole film is going to loop.
Yeah.
And the only bit that we know for sure that's going forward that is going to change is Aaron X, who's got the enormous box.
Well, yeah, it is all just a loop because the first thing you hear is Aaron in the recording.
And Abe looking over the garden,
Yeah,
with Aaron at the bottom of it.
yeah. I'm just wondering whether, when Abe collapses after he's spent like 3 days in that box.
Yeah,
Just wondering
he used
if
the failsafe.
I'm just wondering if that's the end of the story, like Granger. Because Granger has obviously been traveling quite a bit, growth and vegetative state and all that. And we know that the more you time travel, the more your body breaks down. You start handwriting goes all funny. You start bleeding from the ear, and the hints are there that Aaron's already time traveled quite a lot because he started bleeding really early. So maybe Aaron collapsing is him falling into a vegetative state halfway through the movie. But we don't see the after effect of that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to watch it again. No.
Okay, here's one thing, and I'm gonna throw this out like a firecracker, and I don't know if there's any answer to this, right? Because I'm just looking at the Wikipedia, and one of the things they're talking about is that the script and the idea of splitting timelines and all that kind of thing came from the idea of Richard Feynman, right? And Richard
the Feynman diagrams.
The Feynman diagrams, yeah, of superpositions, yeah, which means that it's the slit scan thing. If you observe light as a wave, it's a wave. If you observe light as a particle, it's a particle, yeah?
Yes.
Right, okay. So, all these different Aarons and all these different Abes, they're all superpositions of the original Abe and the original Aaron. They are only doing what we see them doing because we're collapsing the timeline by observing it.
Yes.
Okay. So, to use something that I have not thought of myself, I've literally just found this on a quantum theory website about Primer, is what we are doing as the observer is watching all these different timelines existing, and by observing them, we are collapsing the timelines. So essentially, the final version of events is what we see, and all the other events, the spin-offs, the going backwards and forwards and all this kind of stuff, are just first drafts because they aren't what we observe, which is why we don't see some of these things.
Thus the choppy editing earlier on.
That's the choppy editing. So hence they go to the party and the party's solved because there's 1,000 different observations of that and 1,000 different permutations, and by us watching it, collapses the waveform. That's the version that's true.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that means that the version that's true that is the only version that's true is Abe 2 comes out of a box. Abe 1 comes out of a box, talks to Aaron 3. Oh, Aaron 2 or Aaron 3. Aaron 3 goes through the whole thing, tells you a story. Aaron 2 suddenly appears out of nowhere, fucks off to France, and then Aaron 1 falls out of the loft. The rest of it, because we haven't observed it, is completely It's completely nebulous. It doesn't exist.
Or unknowable. Yeah.
Unknowable.
Yeah.
Because like the Schrodinger's cat. The Schrodinger's cat is dead or alive. It's not. It's in superposition. They both exist at the same
Yes.
time until you observe it, and at which point, as soon as you observe it, that's the truth.
Yeah.
So us going, these guys are going round and round and round in circles. We don't know. We just saw them get in a box, and then saw them get out of a box with some money, and all the other stuff is what could have happened and might have happened, but we only know through what Aaron X has told us in the narration.
Okay.
So to quote the article, what would an objective observer have seen from any point in space and time? Well, obviously the superposition of all three outcomes. You see Aaron from box 0 spike the milk. Then you see Time Virgin Aaron collapse. Then you see Aaron from box 3 appear, talk to Aaron from box 0, talk him into leaving. Not coincidentally, this is exactly what we see depicted in the film. In fact, this is the only version of events we actually see, which makes sense because the only thing that quote really happened from the reference of the reference frame of the outside observer. It is, in a sense, the final version of events. All the other outcomes are just drafts.
Okay.
How's your quantum physics, Elton? Do you want to?
Oh, it's not very good. I'm a bit rusty, I'm afraid.
So the only version of events that's actually true is Aaron who drops out of the box, drugs Aaron 1, puts him in the loft. Aaron 1 drops out, convinces Aaron 3 to leave, and gets on with his life. Aaron 3 goes and builds a bigger box.
Right. Well, I've just found another diagram.
Oh God!
Oh, diagram. We love a diagram.
Right. Hang on a second.
I have a sneaking suspicion this will be our least listened to episode.
I don't care. I don't care. I'm having fun. Unless the
hold on. One second. I've just got to check. Just got to check. Hold on a second. Darren.
Oh.
Darren.
I'm still here.
I brought you a nice fresh chicken, Darren.
Darren, are you regretting anything at all?
A lot of things. Man, I wish I'd just stuck with hot tub time machines. I really do.
Nice. This will teach you to complain about the time traveling fucking Terminator, you bastard.
I'm loving that now. This is I've learnt my lesson.
Anyway, right, okay. We'll just close the door, and Darren, you sit back down, mate. Sit back down.
Darren's in the loft.
He's in the loft. Have we got rats in the loft? No, it's Darren.
Can I unpause my game now?
Yeah, you carry on.
Yeah,
Carry on.
Good.
You carry on. What game are you playing?
Voyager. So.
Oh right, okay. Carry on. Carry on.
Back to that. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah. Go on. Bye. Anyway, Elton, carry on.
Oh, but no. I've got nothing else. Yeah, I think we've been through it enough times already.
Well, okay. Jim,
Yes.
have you got anything else you would like to discuss? Seriously.
No, I think I've covered most things. I've still got a lot to think about. But that's
Okay.
good. That's good.
Yeah.
This is,
Okay.
I just wanted to, I think I would say to go back to Elton's music analogy.
Mm.
I think sort of, I know this is quite, as you said, it's quite a cold film.
Yes.
But it kind of, that is sort of by design in the same way as like a Kraftwerk record is cold, or a
Yes.
Captain Beefheart album is difficult to listen to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's this isn't the equivalent of some jumped up corporate puppets covering sampling the Doors' "Light My Fire" and doing a rap saying "Come on, baby, light my farts." This isn't what this movie is.
Yeah,
there is no warmth to it. It's not asking you to get down and boogie. But I think the more deeper you go into it, not just into once you try and understand the time travel, you understand the relationship.
Yeah.
And then it is all about, I think, kind of how power and how things break down over often stupid little petty rivalries.
Yeah.
And I think kind of Primer's like, I think it's like the first Velvet Underground, which I can't remember if it was Brian Eno or David Bowie said. He said it's kind of, or perhaps Thurston Moore of Sonic Youth. It was one of the three. But they said that album sold terribly, that first album. It only sold something like 1,000 copies.
Yeah.
But everyone who saw that, everyone who bought that album went out and formed a band.
Yeah.
I think Primer's that kind of a film.
Yeah.
It was never meant for the mainstream, and it was meant just, for the people who will dig it, will really dig it. And certainly looking at time travel movies we've had since, if you went back in time and erased Primer, you might be surprised how many movies suddenly disappear, and not just time travel movies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want anyone to get the impression that I'm totally down on this film. I'm not. I mean, I do appreciate it totally. I appreciate what the thought that's gone into it. I appreciate all the effort and the complexity. I find the emotional thing very cold, and I find that kind of puts me off. As I say, I like discussing it more than I like watching it. Does that sound?
I totally get that. I like the coldness of it though. I really do. But
that's cool.
I also just love discussing it as well. I think it's one that we could go over again and again and again.
Well, is there one thing, Elton? I mean, I know I keep trying to nudge you into saying something, but is there one thing in this movie that really, sort of pings your mind, really gets you going? Oh, that's so good. You know what I mean? There's a moment in a film. There's a concept that suddenly comes to you. There's a thing that you latch onto as like the best moment.
I think when I first saw it, I just liked that the time travel wasn't a gimmick. It was they are tethered to the world. This isn't a DeLorean traveling at 88 miles an hour and all of a sudden disappearing through time.
Yeah,
this was their form of time travel. Is you need that box on for an hour, and then you need to sit your ass down for an hour and walk that path to get back to the start. Yeah. And I love that rule is there, because that makes time travel hard. It makes it difficult. It also steals from you. It's not stealing an hour from you. You've lost 2 because you've traveled to the B end and then back to the A end again.
Well, looking at the running time of this podcast, it's at least stolen 3 from us. But I'm sorry, being a bit flippant, but I was going to say there was a comment in one of the reviews I thought was quite interesting, and maybe you'll appreciate this, Ellen. Is that the one of the lessons of Primer regarding the time travel element is that, and I quote, "It's too important to use only for money, but it's too dangerous to use for anything else."
Too important to use only for money.
Yeah, like flip-flopping around.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
But it's too dangerous to use for anything else. So as soon as you start futzing with the future and the past by, like, the party, for example, you're creating unintended consequences.
Absolutely, yeah.
So you have a conundrum there, that the time travel which you see in other films is used as a frivolous kind of means to an end. Go back in time, kill Sarah Connor, go forward in time, get the almanac, for Marty McFly, whatever. Whereas this one says, actually, if we discovered this, you couldn't use it. You just simply couldn't, because you'd fuck something up royally.
Oh yeah. You'd make a mistake. It's the butterfly wings, isn't it? But
yeah, but not only that, but it would. The only way you could use it would be on something frivolous, like making a little bit of extra cash on a stock exchange for a day's worth of trading. Because that's about as far as danger as you can go.
Yeah. Yeah, because anything else would be way too grand, wouldn't it?
Yeah. If you was to suddenly go around and go, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to, buy a year's worth of supplies and toilet roll, sit in this thing, and go back a year and buy shares buy 100,000 Bitcoin or something, and then go forward in time when it's like gone from like 5p a Bitcoin to 500,000 Bitcoin, and then sell the fucking lot. You'd crash the markets. You'd ruin an economy. You'd destroy Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You tank the value of it and send a massive, economic ripple around the world.
Yeah.
So you can't use it for anything big. You can only use it for small, frivolous things, but it's such an enormous invention.
Well, that's why they were worried about doing... And there's also an ethical thing of it as well. Are you going in the right stocks and shares? Because I think Aaron was saying, well, it doesn't matter. We're making money. We just put our stocks into the one that makes the biggest gain. Yeah, but is it the right one? That's the ethical question. Are you making money off of utter shit that's going to fuck up someone's day?
Which is a good indicator of how the power corrupts Aaron.
Yeah.
Because initially, Aaron is Mr. Ethics. And he's all about do the right thing, use it the right way. But by the end of it, it's like, I'm the very god of time itself. I'm going to go and fucking save this party, Time Lord victorious, you know what I mean? He kind of goes the other way.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, again, it's that whole thing of how something small can come between two friends and change them entirely.
But I like that it's an accident as well. It's an accident that they just so happen to find that you have that time manipulation. It's not, let's build a time machine. It's, let's build something scientific. Let's try and get there. And there's a lot of rope to be pulled before you actually get to the point of the Weeble getting covered in moss.
Yeah.
Or algae or whatever it was. Protein.
Yep.
But
yep.
That's why I find it fascinating, because it's, even though it's such a short movie, and I think I said this in like my original thing earlier on, years and years ago. It's on the IMDb as well. They had 80 minutes of footage and they used 78 of it. They were that frivolous with their use of footage.
Yeah.
There is a scene where you can see Aaron say cut. Now, I didn't see it this time round watching it, but I know I have seen him say cut on the DVD.
Yeah.
So it's, they do not waste anything at all.
No. Yeah. But I was going to say, I'm looking through all there was a thing that one of the themes is like how the greatest breakthroughs all occur by accident.
Mm-hmm.
So like for example, minoxidil, which is a hypertensive heart vacillator, which basically increases blood flow, was subsequently found to slow hair loss and promote hair regrowth. It was initially done as a sort of thing as a blood thinner.
Yeah.
Or sildenafil, which was also to reduce pulmonary arterial hypertension, but is now actually known as Viagra. or LSD, which was discovered by Albert Hoffman, who was originally working on a substance to try and treat migraines.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I like the idea that it's scientific serendipity.
Yeah.
Kind of nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Is there anything you wish we'd covered on this so far?
No, I think we've covered everything. I think if we start doing any more, we might be going over old ground again. But I'm very happy with where we are. If what happened last night before we jumped in the boxes and reset everything, it wouldn't have worked.
No,
where we were.
No. When we jumped in the boxes last night, it was 11 o'clock.
Yeah,
which by my measure means that we would have been still doing at this point around about quarter past 1. But here we are at 11 o'clock.
Yeah,
and we're just about to finish it. Hey!
No, it sounds good to me.
Before we do finish, Jim, is there anything else largely you want to cover, or anything you want to bring up from your notes?
I can think of. I'm sure I've forgotten something, but it'll have to wait till we go back in time again.
Okay. And finally, the most important one of all, Darren.
Yes.
Darren.
Yes.
Have you finished your chicken?
Yes.
Okay.
Peter,
I have brought you a chicken. Darren.
Yes.
Is there anything you would like final thoughts on Primer before I let you go back to the Delta Quadrant?
Funny enough, no. I think I'm good.
have you learned your lesson?
Fucking yes. I'll tell you, you're going to get really shit simple movies from me from now on.
Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
What are we going to be doing next?
Man
Lauren
with a
Hardy,
gun.
Way Out West. Way Out West.
Yeah. Man with a gun, The Beekeeper. I'm just doing Jason Statham movies from now on. That's it.
Yeah, we will be doing The Meg. And then The Meg
will.
too. Okay. Brilliant. Okay.
Darren Dumbs It Down season. That's what we're doing.
Okay. There you go. Bullet Train. Okay, then. Brilliant. Well, I think we've all learned something tonight. Or last night. Or maybe every night. I have no idea. So, if anybody does have any thoughts about Primer, or anything we've missed, or anything that Darren should watch instead of Primer, by all means, send them in feedback to feedback@blackdogpodcast.com. Or if you like, go on to Facebook group, facebook.com/group/the Black Dog Podcast, and leave a comment under the episode. But now I think we shall wrap up the Primer box. We shall turn on the box so that we can go back to this point when we all work out that what we've been doing and what we've been talking about, and we can all go back and fail safe it and start again.
Nice.
But let's leave it there. Elton, are you happy? Have you had a happy Prime Day?
I have had a happy Prime Day. I'm looking forward to Prime Boxing Day tomorrow now.
Cool. I'd hate for you to have to be resenting the fact that this was a missed opportunity of any sort.
No, we're good.
Are you all good? Yes. Yeah. Good. Okay. Cool. So then, in which case, we now head over to Jim to see what we will be watching next week when we officially leave unofficial time travel month, which has been the last 4 weeks. Jim, what do you have for us?
Well, according to the theory of relativity and Einsteinian physics, you cannot separate time from space.
Uh-oh.
And so, just to complete the equation, I thought for my pick, we should go into space.
Nice. Okay. So we're going into space. Yeah, okay.
And I just have to check where the damn film is.
If you say Rise of the Skywalker, I'm cutting you off.
No, would I do that to you? I don't want that
Yes.
blood on my hands.
Yeah. Okay.
It is a film that is on Disney Plus.
Space
on
Jam.
Netflix. No, it's not fucking Space Jam. That can die in a fire. But it is a movie from 2019. I have not seen it. It's one of those I've sort of meant to see it, never got round to it. I know very little about it.
Right.
But of my picks I had, it looked the least depressing and it had a good Rotten Tomatoes score. So a very in-depth critical choice there from me.
Right.
And the movie is Ad Astra. And if it is an extended marketing ploy for the Ford Astra, I will weep.
The Vauxhall Astra.
Vauxhall Astra even, yeah. I knew two things about cars, nothing and fuck all. Can you tell?
Oh, my word. Ad Astra, the sad man in space is sad.
That's the one.
Okay, right. Well, there you go, starring Brad Pitt. Cool. Have you seen Ad Astra, Jim?
No, I have not. I never got round to it. So I thought, well, if we're going to head to space, let's take a blind bargain.
Okay, cool. This is on Disney Plus, and it is on
Disney
Netflix.
and Netflix. Yeah,
Yeah,
you got a
I think
choice
it's on
of
Amazon
streaming
as well.
channels.
I think it's on Amazon as well. But okay, Elton, have you seen Ad Astra?
Yes, I have. Yes.
Are you looking forward to seeing Ad Astra again?
Yeah, why not? Let's see how I feel about it this time.
Okay, Darren. Hold on.
Yeah.
Darren.
Yeah.
I've not brought you a chicken. We're going to be doing Ad Astra next week. Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Have you seen Ad Astra before?
No.
Are you looking forward to seeing Ad Astra?
I have no idea.
Okay. Here is a chicken. Go away. Okay. I've seen Ad Astra once, but I've only seen the last 45 minutes of Ad Astra. So I don't know if that counts as actually having seen it properly. I guess not. I'm interested to see how it plays out fully, because I had thoughts. I'm not sure how I feel about it, to be honest. But we'll see. We will see. So, Ad Astra. That'll be our next. That'll be our next film. Nice. Hold on. What have you put in our chat? Oh, there you go. The definitive explanation and timeline of. Oh my god, of Primer. Okay, thanks, Elton.
Let's move on from Primer.
No. Let's go back. Okay, cool. Right. Well, so there you go, ladies and gentlemen. When we return next week, we will be doing Ad Astra, which, as we say, is on Amazon Prime and on Netflix and on Disney Plus. Just pick a streamer, point your face at it, and go. Right. So before we go, now it's time to head over to Pimp's Corner and find out what's happening over at Hypnagoria Land. Jim, what's happening there?
Over on the main show, I have just released a review of the new Adam Neville novel, which is out tomorrow, Monumental.
Nice.
Well, this week there might be reading an M.R. James story for Easter if I can get it edited in time, other things notwithstanding.
Yes.
And there might even be a commentary Easter episode if I can find a wildly inappropriate film we've not already done.
Okay, nice. Yeah, maybe you should do the He-Man movies. do Masters of the Universe. Yeah,
I know that he's on streaming, and it is my choice next for a crap movie. But that wouldn't probably fit the bill for Easter. It's a lack of eggs for a start.
I don't know. He comes back. He comes back from the dead. You know, he's risen or something.
Vaguely.
Yeah, vaguely. Okay, fair enough. Cool. Well, so that's all over at hypnagoria.com.
It is indeed.
Brilliant. And Elton.
You can catch me on the Grand Prix podcast, not podcast. Talking about cars going around in circles.
Nice. Cool. And brilliant. And Darren.
Yes.
No chicken. Are you busy doing anything else apart from this podcast?
No.
Right, fair enough. When's your primer podcast coming out? Bye.
About the same time as your Last Jedi one, mate. All right.
Yeah, all right. One day I'll do that series, and everyone will hate me. No, yes. Oh, yes. No, I won't. Right. Okay. Well, that's it then. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Darren. Thank you, Elton.
Not a problem.
My pleasure.
Not a problem. I've got halfway across the Delta Quadrant while playing this game.
I've got a whole fleet of Kazon ships up my arse, but don't worry about it. It's fine.
Okay. And so thank you very much for listening. And ladies and gentlemen, we will see you here next week for Ad Astra. Send your feedback into the usual places, and we'll see you next time. Until then, take care. Tatty bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ta-da.
I'm living